understand the times that we're in. And so, like I said earlier, our next speaker is going to help us understand a few things that would help influencers, individuals who don't understand influencing, and those who would want to get into that space. And of course, for business owners and all, this is a good time for us to be here. So if you're excited about this again, let's put our hands together for the organizers of this event. So as our first speaker for today, he's Bernard Kafui Sokpe. I have history of murdering people's names, so pardon me. He's a seasoned brand marketing consultant and avid entrepreneur with over a decade of career experience working in telecom, e-commerce, fintech, hospitality, agribusiness, and even showbiz. I don't know why they said even showbiz, because showbiz was actually the real deal, guys. Let's put our hands together for Bernard Kafui Sokpe.
Good afternoon, everyone. I know you guys waited, but we're still happy you're here. It's not easy to do events. I mean, I've been there, and I know how it can be wahala, like the weather can change and all. But you being here alone is like we're grateful. So big ups to Yemi Baba and his team for putting this together. I'm also not just happy that you guys are here. I'm happy at how far influencer marketing has come, because I mean, I remember 12 years ago, this was me trying to convince my chief marketing officer that we should put a budget on an influencer, and she didn't understand, because she was used to having a brand ambassador, putting them on a billboard, TV, radio. She didn't understand that one single person could be able to convince people to purchase a product, and she wasn't buying it. But look at us now, we're having a whole event, like there are over 20, 30, 40 people here eager to understand what influencer marketing is. And we all know how we are in an era where even podcasts are more viral and more believable than TV shows. We're in an era where TikTok videos, people would believe TikTok videos than even listen to an ad. Me, when I'm going to look for a place to go eat, or even yesterday I was looking for a Netflix movie, I went to TikTok to check Netflix movies and recommendations, and that's how I started to watch. So let's give it up for ourselves for even being here. I mean, she did an intro, but I like show and tell, so I always like to have some visuals. So I'll still just give a little bit info about myself. My name is Bernard Kafui Sokpe. I don't know, some of you might know me. Everyone calls me Meister. I've been working for 15 years in various fields: telecom, e-commerce, advertising, entertainment, social media. It's a lot. But right now I'm a co-founder of Jumbo Spaces. I'll tell you more about Jumbo Spaces as we go along. But I call myself a brand strategist, a comms professional. I'm amazing at partnerships. That's will be a conversation for another day. Culture shaper. I've been behind a lot of things that maybe you don't know about, but I've been behind a lot of good culture changing things. And then I also say I'm a thought leader. So in my opinion, I'm an influencer in my own right. So this is just a timeline of my career journey. You see, I've circled that part there to show you how many followers I have on Twitter. That's over 100K people. If 100K people followed me here, they'll call the fire service. So, but that just also lets you know that, like, each of you sitting there, you are an influencer in your own right. You just probably haven't decided to pursue it as a business or anything, but it's possible. Everybody can be an influencer. If even you have 200 people who follow you on Instagram, if they followed you into this room, everybody will be looking at you like, hey, who is this important person? So yeah, that's just my journey. 2012, I started my career. Okay, before that I was in advertising, but 2012, I call it my first real job, Vodafone Ghana. Then in 2015, I moved to Tonaton as a marketing manager. 2017, went to Haptel. But in between there, I was doing music. I'm sure you all know Mr. Easy. I was responsible for Mr. Easy's rise in Ghana. It was then Meister Music. So that's the showbiz part of it. I still dabble in music, but not as intense as before. Then I started my agency, Brandmeister, went to do my master's in brand leadership, came back. Twitter came to Ghana, hired me as the head of Twitter here, and I was running operations here and being a senior partner manager. So I worked with like any influencer you can think of, from South Africa to Nigeria to Kenya, basically helping all of them get louder voices on the continent. And I was responsible for verifying about 800 influencers or people who are like have loud voices online. I'll share more about it as we go on. But right now I'm the co-founder of Jambo Spaces. As I go on, I'll be sharing some quotes that I believe are very relevant to the conversation and are very impactful. So this is from Chimamanda. Do we all know who Chimamanda is? If you know Chimamanda, just do a little wave. Okay, a lot of people. I thought I'd see more of the women raising their hand, because we all know her as like, yes, champion feminist, amazing woman, Nigerian author, very successful lady. So she says the most powerful tool we have as Africans is our voice, and social media amplifies that voice to the world. I remember when I joined Twitter, they were like, to me, like there were so many celebrities, so many famous people who were not even just celebrities, like activists, people advocating for things, and I'll mention their names in meetings, and these white people or even black Americans, they're like so clueless, they've never heard of them. And that is why I was so eager to give these people badges, like make sure that they're verified, because sometimes opportunities will come up and I'll recommend someone from Africa and they're like, we don't know them, they might have a lot of following but we don't know them. And the badge was basically helping them get recognized, because when they tweet, it goes louder. When I say, oh, this person should be on this, they give the opportunity. And that was my Africa to the world moment. And I've been so passionate about Africa to the world, because I feel like in this room or even in Africa, we are doing so much online everywhere, but we are not being heard because the world just doesn't know what's going on in Africa. You go to rooms in outside the country and they don't know what happens here. They only know what charity organizations show of Africa with hungry, emaciated people, but they don't know that they are like people thinking, people doing amazing stuff here. So Africa to the world was like my big deal. And like Chimamanda is saying, social media is that thing that's going to amplify us to the world. So we should not joke with this. Like, don't joke with your Twitter, with your LinkedIn, with your Instagram. Just make sure that you're always being loud about what you do. Don't do things and keep it in the quiet, because that's the way people will find you. When you're even going for visa interviews, trust me, they Google your name and then they might see what you're up to. So speaking of Africa to the world, this is what I do at Jambo Spaces. We basically help African youth turn their creativity into currency. I'll explain more. But basically, like I said, social media is beyond just that tool that you would use to DM Sonia Ibrahim and say you're a fan. But it is a very big tool that can be used for influence. And we are going to delve deeper into influence. So when I say how can you turn your creativity into currency, I mean, like I said, I've worked with any influencer you can think of. This is just some photos that I picked up from Jambo, where I work. It's Kojo Sheldon, Amma Berland, Sister Deborah, Bella Mundi, and the list goes on. Stoneboy. They're always around. They're always coming by for us to help them do stuff. I don't know if you guys saw the recently trending podcasts with where Gisela was saying, if you have Gisela, Amma Berland, that is something that we produced at Jambo. So those are some of the things too that we do. So just to go back into what we're saying, you can turn your creativity into currency, make money off being creative, make money off your social media by using your influence. I don't know if you guys know this fact, but there are more mobile phones or smartphones than Ghanaians in Ghana. Like, think about it. Like, we're about 30-something million, but there are over 30 million smartphones according to the data. And that's just because maybe some people have 2 phones, but even in the rural areas, people have smartphones. And smartphones can make you money. Smartphones can give you influence. Smartphones can do so much for you, but it's just how you tap into it. So what we help them do is help them find brand partnerships. So, for example, you like food or you post content about the restaurants that you go to, or you do tech. the more you create content like that, you build an influence as someone who is always recommending something. That's you gradually building influence. Even if it's 100 people who know that if Amma posts that she came to eat at this place, that means it's good, and they're always there on your page, you're influencing them to make food choices. And then when brands come, like let's say Maggie comes and they want to work with a food influencer, they would now be able to, they'll be drawn to you. But they'll only be drawn to you if you're posting ethically. And we'll get into that. Also, people who are advocating for stuff, ambassadors, and if, let's say, the UN wants to work with someone who is an advocate, like Deborah Vanessa is always advocating for plastic, non-plastic use and stuff. So she's had a lot of gigs with the UNESCO and all those agencies that support that. You can also launch your own product line. So we've seen some of the celebrities or influencers starting their own makeup or any product at all. I don't have any names in mind now, but I mean, yeah, you can launch your own product and your fans will buy it because they believe in you. Then also you can kickstart a career in film. If you look, it happens a lot in Nigeria. A lot of the skit makers, influencers, gradually move into Nollywood and now start acting movies full time. I'm sure you guys have noticed that, like there are a lot of them, Lasisi, there's so many of them, like they're all acting movies now. Even the guy that does Freaky, what's his name? Mr. Macaroni, he acts movies now. It's full time into Nollywood, and that's because he started with being an influencer. That quote, I don't know if you guys know Fred Swanica. He's CEO of, founder of African Leadership University. He says the internet is the new frontier of African entrepreneurship, and social media influencers are leading the charge. I mean, if you know Fred and he's saying this, then you know it carries some weight. I'll give you the opportunity to go and research on Fred. So, what makes a good influencer? I was saying that everybody can be an influencer here, and it's true. But what makes a really good influencer? Followers is always the first thing that people think of. But you can have like a lot of followers but no influence. A lot. Like there are people who have a lot of followers but they can't sell one thing online, or they can't convince anybody to do something, because people get followers for different reasons. If today my nudes leak, I'm going to get probably 500,000 more followers overnight because people are just trying to see it. Or if I'm having a fight with maybe Sonia online and we are insulting each other, revealing each other's secrets, people will go and follow us because they want to see. But after that day, the followers still stay, but the influence is not there. Do you get what I mean? So followers is one of the checkboxes, but it's not fully a checkbox to be an influencer. Content creation is one of the most ideal things to grow your page as an influencer. So that to take, like, you need to create content. Like, I work with influencers so much that sometimes they'll say, "Oh, this person is famous. Yeah, they have 500, they have 100,000 followers." But you try and engage them for a campaign, and you realize that they can't create content. They probably have followers because of something that happened, like I said, and now they just post nice pictures and they're famous, but they can't sell anything. But that too influences people, some people, because some people just like the aesthetic. That's their Pinterest. The person's page is their Pinterest. Entertainment, yeah, it's always when you share anything, no matter how boring it is in an entertaining way, you're able to grow your influence online. And then also sharing news. Like a lot of our bloggers are influencers because, like GH Hyper, Kobiche. Kobiche is like one of my favorite because he's so ethical and he doesn't follow clickbait, he doesn't follow any negative news. So I think we should all clap for Kobiche. He's like setting the standard for what ethical journalism should be like. But like I said, social media influence, it shapes opinions, it drives trends, it encourages action, and yeah, regardless of the number of followers you have, you can drive some influence. I've said that like 3 times already. And influence is power. So if you have that kind of power, that you know that, okay, if I say this, people are going to act, then that means you need to be responsible. You need to make sure that whatever you post, whatever you say is going to drive positive action. Because people will do what you say. So with great influence comes great responsibility. This is why, as an influencer, you have to be mindful of ethics, right? So we'll dive into what like being ethical means, but it all starts with cloud chasing. I'm sure you all know what cloud chasing is. Does anybody here not know what say you they chase clouds? If they say you they chase clouds, does anybody not know what cloud chasing is? The word itself is not bad. Cloud is not a bad word, but cloud chasing is a bad word because it's like, and it happens a lot here in Africa because like people just want to be famous for no reason. People just, I've seen how influencers are being treated well. I mean, this is off topic, but if we saw how there was such a trend with the cookathons, this athon, that athon, you can tell that's a trend that people have seen that, okay, Hilda Bassi did it and she became famous overnight and she's getting brand endorsements. Let me also do something and then also become famous. I'm not saying it's not good to attempt it. You can see that that's where the trend comes from. People did all kinds of things just so that they could be famous. I mean, we'll go deeper into it. Some people are excited. You like agenda. Yeah. Well, I mean, so these are some types for you to be able to, for me to be able to teach you guys some of the things you should do. Let's talk about some of the things that are unethical, right? And people get this thing confused a lot. There's misinformation and then there's disinformation. Let's say mis is mistake. So misinformation is not factual. An example is, let's say, those people that you're always online and ready to share anything that comes on your timeline. If it comes on your page or you see it somewhere, you will not cross-check, you will not fact-check, you're just ready to share it. They say this person has done this, boom, you share it because you also just want to, and bloggers do it a lot, you also just want to get the clicks, you're just excited, you're just trigger happy online. You need to check, you need to always check these things. A good example is Chef Smith's thing, right? He calls in media people, they leave their offices, very respectable media people, platforms that we all respect, leave their offices and come because one, they are being paid, which is a big challenge. If you go outside the country, you realize that like big you can't go and pay BBC to share news for you. No, they have to come and research. And then I was doing an article with the BBC. It took 2 months building a story before they were willing to put it out. So that's where like that's a big problem. Fact that people will just show up and or share anything, like that was the challenge with Chef Smith thing. Nobody knows the reason why he did that. But clearly it's cloud chasing, right? He's trying to be famous and will do whatever it takes. I mean, old videos came up about him, one saying he's a pastor, like there are a lot of things. I mean, what? People get fill out. Anyway, so misinformation is bad. Like if you want to be an ethical influencer, or even if you follow an influencer that is doing this kind of thing, always misdirecting you, misinforming you, you need to advise yourself. Either unfollow, or if it's even you that wants to start, just make sure you cross-check, you fact-check, you make sure that you're not believing everything that's on the internet, because like we're in an era where it's not like before that when a billboard or newspaper article comes out, it's 90% true, and that is why our parents believe everything on WhatsApp. Because like they've come from a time where like if it's in the papers it's true, if it's on TV it's true. But we are in an era where someone can just craft some message and share it, and you now have to see, is it true or not? Yeah, you understand? So yeah, we are, even though technology is advancing, there are some pros and cons to it, but we need to always make sure that we are not misinformed or we are practicing properly. Then there's disinformation. Let's say this is disgrace. But disinformation is what you people know as agenda. There are actually people who get up, start rumors, or start crafting like comments online just to get, and they do it a lot on Twitter. They just get people riled up, just to create some conflict, just to get people like upset, and they do it just because they want engagement, they want some attention to their page. But it's so bad. Like during conflict, like I'll give an example. During NSAS, I don't know what NSAS is, when Nigerians were complaining about the section of the police called people were sharing old videos. Some of those videos were even from movies. Of them maybe shooting like 10 people in some place, and then they'll say, "Oh, the police, the army just came to shoot 4 students from this university." Then now people who were old students or even from the university now get angry. Hey, let's go. Then they'll go to the barracks and go and burn it. But because of one video they saw online, and that is how serious it is, that you can be informed about something easily. Like, look at how even Trump's supporters went to the Capitol to go and ransack things because he probably said something online. You get what I mean? And they riled them up, and then they went. So you have no idea the power you wield being an influencer. So no agenda, please. And please don't be like Chef Smith. I beg you, shouldn't beat me on my way out. Then there's false endorsement. I mean, the ladies, everybody wants to get a snatched belly and all that, but I don't know. I don't know anybody. And if you do your research, you know that 90% of the time, flat tummy tea doesn't work. I mean, yeah. There's so many things that go into making someone look amazing, but yeah, everybody and their beauty standards. But all I'm just saying is that there are a lot of influencers that probably might have had surgery or might just be genetically fit, but they'll be promoting things and making it look like that's what made them fit. You, the influencer posting this, you don't know the components of the product. You don't know whether it's going to adversely affect someone in the future. You don't know. There are people who take these things and maybe years down the line they cannot have babies. There are people that get cancer. There are people that get all kinds of side effects, allergies and everything. False endorsement is one thing that as an influencer, it is not ethical. Like, look at your values. Do more research about the product you're going to endorse. Just make sure that whatever you're saying it really is. You understand? I don't want to mention some names, but a famous influencer recently or last year was posting something about a product that can get people's husbands and stuff, and everybody was like, come on, like, we respected you. You shouldn't have done that. Anyway, then there's sharing private and personal information. And that is very serious. I think a lot of Ghanaians take that thing as like it's a joke. When someone's private video or nudes or something, scandal, and then people are like online sharing it in groups, posting it, like, that is like so bad. Like, I don't know how serious, maybe I'm not expressing it so much. Like, there are people who have been refused visas because their accounts have been linked to child pornography. They didn't take the video, but they probably saw it online, shared it with their friends, and laughed because there's a video of 2 kids doing something inappropriate. But those are the ones that attract the most. I'll tell you personally, when I was working at Twitter, there was a Nigerian influencer that needed help because his account was blocked or suspended. And as we were investigating, I was insisting, because in my position, I could just send an email and vouch for you and say, oh, I vouch for this person. They are African. I know them. They are good people. And I vouched, and they came back and they said, no, this person, they showed me reports. Like, they've been investigating the person because the person shared some inappropriate stuff online, nude stuff, probably someone's nudes, and they were sharing it and teasing the person and trolling the person. That even after the thing, after they've suspended the person, they've sent various US bodies to be investigating the person on all platforms now. Now, that person is going to struggle with visas. That person is going to struggle with opportunities. The person might even get into a university and they might just do a check. And that's because of one day that you were sharing someone's nudes online. Come on. Say what scandal happened? People were just sharing videos. Come on, don't do that. Like, that is like one of like the worst things that because the internet has a trail and anyone can always find something if they, it's not your common Google search that you think people are using. Like real security bodies have deeper searches that they can use to pull out things on you. So please don't endorse false products. That's so unethical. And also don't share private and personal information. No matter how trending it is, stay away from it and don't engage. And if you have any influencer that's doing the same thing, please, in fact, comment, put your comments in the section and let them know that you don't like this and you're going to unfollow them. And they might think that maybe your one follow doesn't matter, but you've done your part. You've stood your ground. So this quote says, your integrity online is just as important as your influence. Once you lose it, it's very hard to regain it. Look at the guy in Nigeria who, years after, it still come back to haunt him. So now let's dive. We're about to end though, but let's just go into now basic things you can do to be ethical. One is authenticity. Be yourself. Like, be yourself. We are all very different. Everyone here has something unique about them. We all grew up in different places. We all have different ideologies. We all have different talents, different voices, different things. And that's what makes us unique. Don't look at someone and try to be like the person. No. Do your thing. Even the influencers you follow them for different reasons. Some of them, you follow them for fashion. Some of them, you follow them for entertainment. Some of them are dancing. Some of them are just being joking. Like, so just be yourself. Just be authentic. Look at the girl on the right, Elsa Majimbo. We all know Elsa. Do you guys know Elsa? By hand, yeah. So Elsa started, became an influencer because she was just lying in her bed, chewing chips, no makeup, nothing, and just saying funny things, jokes, and then her videos were just going super viral. Now that girl lives in LA. She's always doing videos how she's never going to be poor again, and working with like really, really big model agencies and stuff like that. But it's easy to say I'm just chasing the likes, shares, and I'm doing anything desperate to be famous. But no, just be yourself. You can take tips from other people that are following what you're trying to do, but don't try and be something else. Don't try and package yourself. Like, that's what Nigerians say. They put a package online, and when you do that, it's hard for you to catch up to that persona that you're creating, because then it's not legit. Then also make sure you have integrity. Like, make sure that no one can pay you to post anything. When I say, I mean, obviously you're doing it so that you be paid to, but don't let money be the reason why you decided to post something. It's like those media houses that showed up for the Chef Smith thing. If they were really like, they were following like the path of integrity, they will do like the fact checking. Fine, they're making their money, but that's not the reason they'll get up and come there before they'll now think of fact checking. Check first, make sure that everything is legit. Don't let anyone pay you, go against your values and say post this because you have to be famous. So another quote: the future belongs to those who can merge purpose with profits. Find your purpose, find what you stand for, and then you'll be able to make profit eventually. And then that's where basically ethical influencing comes from. This is my quote. So true influence, I always say, isn't about numbers. It's about impacts. How are you making impacts? And remember, it's better to have a very small, engaged audience than a large, disengaged one. I was having a chat with Yemi before this started, and I'm like, don't wait for people who said they'll come to show up here. Even if there are 10 people sitting in the front row, respect that. Respect that they came from their houses and they are here. And it's better to let those 10 people walk out of here impacted, empowered, than the people who said they'll come. If they were going to come, then they should have been here, right? So thank you guys for coming here, taking time out, coming through the rain. And I hope you guys leave here very impacted. Thank you. I don't know if there's time for questions, but yeah, MC will tell us. Where's the MC? She's here. All right. Okay. And follow me. You don't have questions?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Nafisa, please, as you were having your presentation, you were talking about influencing. How can one see if one influencing is a good influencing to a person or bad influencing? And do we call those influencers as celebrities? Because now, the moment you're on TV, you're on radio, even if a TV interview you, like you're even passing by, automatically you become a celebrity in quotes. That's how we describe this kind of people. So I want to know, how can one have how can one be influenced in a positive way? Because it's like we have so many that you don't even know which one you should pick from. So I want to know, how can one know if
Okay,
this
I mean,
person is a good influence
most
or-
of my presentation was just showing what is ethical and what's not ethical. It's like upbringing, right? If whatever you were raised by, if someone is doing something that is not in line with your values, then it's not great for you. You understand? So you don't follow influencers that you think will influence you wrongly. It doesn't sit with you well, then it's bad influencing, right? I also, when it comes to celebrity influencer thing, I think the whole concept of celebrity is anyone that's celebrated. They have fans. If I don't know who's like, if let's say Wesley Kessie walks in here, I'm sure they have fans here, right? And once he walks in here, people are like, "Oh, can I take a picture with you?" They're a celebrity. So, yeah, once you're celebrated by your fans, you're a celebrity. So it's a very thin line. Influencers are now celebrities, and we can't change anything about that. That's why they hold a lot of power and respect. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Questions are popping up. I hope I'm not eating into the time.
Yeah. So my question is, when you're running an awareness campaign and you want to use an influencer, usually you are advised to go for influencers that have wider reach, because they have to impact, the numbers have to impact the campaign. It's an awareness campaign. But sometimes you realize that the influencers you have more impact than the ones with reach. Where do you draw the line between impact and reach in this context? Because you said influence is not about numbers, but then about impact.
This guy is a marketer. He work in an agency. I know Christian. He's an agency boy. So it really depends on what the agency is trying to achieve. Sometimes they're trying to just do the numbers for the clients because of money. So they don't. Sometimes they don't care. They just want someone that would show that 1 million people were seeing and they just go and they collect that check and they go. I'm a strong believer of micro influencers. I've done a lot of campaigns for various brands that even the micro influencers converted people to buy tickets or bought a product more than the very big ones. Because the very big ones, sometimes the people are there for various reasons. Like, they came there for various reasons. Like, someone shot a music video and they were in. But the micro influencers they have a few followers, but they are engaging them like, I mean, you saw my last slide. It's better to have a small engaged community than a large disengaged one. And you might see that they would post, even Beyonce was trying to sell Ivy Park, and it didn't do well. Yeah, it didn't do well. But Beyonce is like goddess of showbiz, whatever. But it didn't do well, and you'd wonder why. But smaller influencers that they gave the clothing to sold more than her. So I would always go for an influencer that's actually converting than an influencer that's just big and that just has 1 million followers, but none of them are buying.
Good afternoon. So,
I just want to add something to the question. So if you want to create awareness about something, for example, there's a book fair going on at the children's library. So you need to look for who can actually create awareness for a book fair. For example, you can take Shatta Wale, no offense, but the people that follow him don't really, read certain books. So you cannot go for Shatta Wale to influence that. So you need to know what you're trying to create awareness for and then seek that influencer for that project. Thank you.
I will use Afronita because she's working with kids now. Yeah.
So, you talked about unethical influence, like unethical practices. You talked about misinformation, which is informations that are not factual. So, for you as misinformation, right? Okay, so I just want to know that when you have a company come to you and they want you to, influence for them, do you have a team that actually does that research to know if they're actually doing the right thing, or you do that yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a long time ago, I tried to build a tech platform that can just find them based on interest. And there are platforms like that, but in Ghana, I struggled because it was expensive. But we do it manually. We sit as a team, and then we say, oh, okay, if we're talking about food, who are the top food influencers? And then we start picking. And then, okay, who's doing tech? And then we start picking. And then it's just a very manual brainstorm. And then we present it to the client. The client goes through and like, oh, I like this person, I like this person. Sometimes the clients come already and they say, we want this person. We want this person. And then we just go and have a conversation with the person. But if they come to us and they say, we want, let's say, I don't know, any name. They want Ajabintu. we might say, okay, we as marketers, we don't think maybe Ajabintu can influence this audience that you want. But if it's probably maybe cosmetics, skincare, hair, she could influence that because people go to her page because she's doing nice photo shoots and stuff like that, yeah.
Okay, so Belinda, a news reporter and a very active social media user. So my first question is, how does Twitter assist its users filter out nude content? I'm aware that you can filter it out yourself manually, but there are times when your followers have these things and they share it. It appears on your page as well. And then my second question is that just this week, a blogger who is an influencer, is a GH page, yes, posted something about a friend of mine. So the friend is alive, but they involved him in a news article that said he is dead. So he made an upload where a lot of us helped repost and all that on Twitter. And the only thing they could put up was an apology that said that the story is true, but the picture, like the person in the picture, is false. How then can we that happen to see this news, how then can we correct it or help people that fall victims to these bloggers or influencers that claim they are bringing out news articles, sorry?
Okay. Big one. So the bit about the cleaning up your timeline from news and stuff, a lot has changed since Elon Musk took over. So I don't have a lot of visibility on what he is doing for that. But then when I was there and when I was standing in for Africa, I was proactively, they used to do these things called blanket ban. So if, let's say, one nude video pops up from someone, like I did it for Tiwa Savage, when her video popped up, we were able to blanket ban it. So anytime, like through AI, anytime someone shared it, your account could just be suspended instantly. Yeah. So it will just pick it. Like the moment you post it or you interact with it, boom, your account goes. I don't know what is being done now. I don't know. I know recently. Recently, Elon allowed them to have porn on Twitter, like legally. So that is a challenge. I won't know how to do it. Now, with people sharing things like that, in other countries, you can get in serious trouble. Like there are bodies that are protecting like the kind of ethical journalism and stuff. But here, it's just like everybody for his own. I don't know if I saw someone went to jail for 30 days. Is it Nigeria or is here? It's Ghana. What the person do again? False news. And I was so happy. Like, have you do parties for that? Like, that is a start. I'm happy the authorities are stepping in. Like, people are going to jail now for that, and right now we there's not much we can do. You can either sue if you can afford to sue, but apart from that, if they are putting their feet down now to take people to jail or give them sentences, I think that would curb all that, like people sharing all that. Yeah. Sorry, we don't close.
Thank you very much.
I close.
My question is, we live in a world where perception really matters. So there are a lot of, especially Ghanaian media spaces, promote negative content, educational or positive content. So what are we as a media community or society doing to discourage or prevent these kind of negative content and instead boost or promote mind-endearing or mind-engaging content in the media spaces?
That one there is hard. It's hard because when you do the research, right, entertainment and news are the entertainment news and entertainments. And you can tell it's all entertainment. Those are the things that drive a lot of engagement online. If you do Hootsuite, you see like entertainment is like the highest, whatever. There are people who want to see educational stuff, but the majority of people who want to see Kokonsa are more than the people. Yeah, it's true. Like, you can't change that. There are people just online, they're not doing anything. They buy a little data because they want to be on the Zion Felix page, GHI Park, Kokonsa.com. Like, they want to just be there and engage with gossip. And you can't change that. You can boldly advocate for more or start engaging to create more content like that, but I don't know how you're going. Even it's everywhere in the world, even in America, showbiz, all the sex, gossip, those are the things, those are the blogs that have Shade Room, Shade Burrow, like they're the ones that have the most followers, and it's just human nature. We just like gossip, and we just like wahala, and we just want to be in the middle of stuff. But I believe that, yes, there should be more people who decide that, okay, when I'm going to now create a podcast or a program, let me think of something educating too. Maybe I could do something educating, but in a more entertaining way, so that there could be a balance and people can learn at the same time, getting a little bit of Kokonsa in there. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Please put your hands together for him one more time. First of all, I want to clear this, Mr. Sope. MX24 was at Chef Smith's thing, and we didn't take money, okay? We're not paid. We we didn't take money. We're just doing the Lord's work. We're supporting a brother who, by the way, turned out to not be worth it. But I mean, it was just the, and also, I have also had my fair share of bad news. Yes. Janice is surprised. I woke up one morning and a blog said I was transgender. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, by the grace of God, it didn't show up as bad as what happened. I did what you said we should do. There was a report that was wrong. It was a story that didn't exist. I saw it, and it was regarding a company I was with. So I used to be with GH1, and the story they put over there, it was wrong. It was not true. It didn't even exist. So I said, please check your facts. This doesn't exist. Because I was like, this is really frustrating. Like, we wake up every morning, something bad is being, put up about a company you work with. It was frustrating. So I put it there that please check your facts. This is not right. And the girl came for me with her cohort. Oh, they came for my life. And I've never seen this before. I was shocked. People were in my DMs. I need a new recruit of, listen. I had my fair share. Then the next thing was I was transgender. I should carry my transgender face. It's like the girl just want to tell me that like I'm not fine like that. But I was like, girl. And so for me, I think I sat with the person who talked about how we could change the entire conversation to be more positive. But again, that's why we're here. So put your hands together for Mr. Sakwe again. Bernard Kafui Sope for giving us that information. Of course, education as well. We also want to apologize. Before him, we were supposed to have Honorable Fatimatu Abubakar, Minister for Information, but she could not make it. Of course, it's an election year, so she got super busy this morning. She's being represented here, though. She has a representative in the room. We're going to introduce them later, but we apologize on her behalf and, of course, on ours as well, because we wanted to hear from her this morning on their stand on this entire conversation on influencers and all. Also, we had another speaker, Jefferson Saki. He also couldn't make it. We also apologize for that as well. We're not lying. We had them. They were supposed to come. It just didn't happen, okay? For everyone who has been a part of this journey, we actually purposefully planning to make sure that before we leave the room, we have learned well. So please, if you don't have your pen and paper, you're not doing yourself some good, cry. You're not doing yourself any good. Write something down. Take notes, okay? Now, we're going to get a bit of entertainment. As Mr. Sokwe told us, entertainment is very important, okay? You can't bring us into a room and not give us entertainment. So please, let's put our hands together for Clevester. This is a poet who's going to give us a little bit of entertainment in the world of poetry. Please put your hands together for them.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please, my name is Clevester the Poet, the second runner-up for season 13 TV3 Talented Kids. Thank you. And I'm also the ambassador for Clevester Cares Foundation, and I'm an advocate for promoting tourism. Today, I am here to give a poem about influencing youth inclusion for change. In virtual realm, they reign supreme. Influencers with followers' eyes on them. Their post, a curated perfect dream. A highlight reel that's always real, it seems. For due diligence is the watchword forming part and parcel of the fourth estate of the realm, executing their role as gatekeepers and taming nation wreckers. For you will be empowering the young and watch them grow. Their voices will matter and their stories will show. With every click, their power grows. For inclusion is the key to unlocking their might. Together, they will rise in the dark night. Their voices loud as their fame unfolds. They shape opinions and trends that flows. Their influence vast as their reach expands to show. But behind the screens, a different tale of pressures, anxieties, and a constant gale. They need to conform, to fix the mold, to maintain the image that's worth more than gold. The youth will rise with their dreams, and hope will be their guide. As they will strive for their future, side by side, we will listen to them, we will listen to their hearts, and we will amplify their voice. For the youth are the leaders of tomorrow's day. Their ideas and passion will pave the way for tomorrow, a world that is just and equal to, where everyone else belongs and can break through. Let us not forget the real ones too, who use their voice to uplift and renew, who spread kindness and empathy abound, and inspire change with a heart that's sound. So let us all be wise and critical as well in the virtual world where influencers dwell. And remember, there is more to life than just a screen. and true influence comes from a heart that's serene. And for together, the youth can create a brighter day where their voices heard, their stories told, a future of hope where all can unfold. I go by the name Clevester the Poet. Thank you.
Thank you, Clevester. Please put your hands together for her. Isn't she cute and adorable? Oh, I want a girl child now. Yeah, I said it. Okay, put your hands together for Clevester one more time. And that was really brilliant, Clevester. Thank you so much. We're going to continue. Like I said, we will not take too much of your time, so we will try to go through the event fast. It's Saturday. We need to go back home. And so we're going straight to a panel session. We're going to have a very interactive panel session right now. But before we do that, if you have been here since 10 a.m., okay, and you need water, or you just walked in and you need some water, please signal any of the ushers. They're going to help you with water for now, okay? I know you had coffee earlier. Water for now, yeah. Abna was the one standing here promising people things. I could not be part of that, but I just want you to have water. So if you need any, please signal any of the ushers. They're going to help you. Thank you so much. So for our panel session now, this is going to be moderated by Isabella Aku. Put your hands together for her. She's going to introduce her panel members later. Please put your hands together for this beautiful black young lady. How you doing?
Thank you very much, Miriam. Okay. Thank you very much, Miriam. My name is Isabella Aku Agbohola. You can call me Isabi, and I'm honored to be your moderator for the panel session today. Welcome again. It is the third edition of the Influencers Conference, and it is happening live here at the AMA Auditorium Snap Cinema. I hope you're as excited as I am. Well, I would move right into it. Introduce my panelists. First on my list, and please make sure to take some notes and some questions as well. They would be answered in due time. Thank you. First on my list, she's a counseling psychologist. She's an entrepreneur. She's a writer and also a motivational speaker. Talk about a multi-talented queen. Please, she's in the person of Sonia Ibrahim. Please give it up for her. Thank you for joining me. Next on my list, she's a fashion PR specialist. She's a fashion writer, and she's the founder of EAPRO Public Relations. She's been trailblazing the fashion industry for a good number of years. Talk about a decade and over. You can call her the trendsetter, the innovator, or even the trailblazer. Please give it up for the beautiful Faith Sanam Oklu. Next on my list, she's a personal brand consultant. She is the founder of Shani's Digital, operating under the initiative Brand Rights. She's been doing amazingly well for brands, helping them reach wide visibility. Oh, she's also a humanitarian, helping the less privileged reach their full potential. Please give it up for Janice Tego. Last but not the least, I have an accredited public relations practitioner and change management expert. She's been recognized as one of the top 10 PR women in Ghana in the years 2019 and 2021, respectively. She's the founder of Girls Go Getters, that is keen about influencing women to read and push them achieve their goals. She's a beacon of hope and a source of joy, just as her name goes. Please give it up for Joyce Sakite Ahiadome. Thank you very much for joining me. I am honored to be moderating this session with you as my panelist. And thank you very much, lovely audience. Please don't forget to take notes and your questions, and they would be answered when the time is right. Well, moving right into business, the topic for discussion today is about youth and social media. Yes, the topic for discussion is about youth and social media, looking at the education and empowerment side of things. Well, these are my thoughts. We live in a digital era where there's wide accessibility to a lot of digital services, including digital products and digital, services in general. As young people, we all use social media. Some people for intimate reasons, some people for business. At the end of the day, we can all agree that it has become an integral part of our lives. So this leads us right into the first question. As young people, how can social media be leveraged to enhance educational outcomes for young people? I would start with Janice.
Why did you start with me?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's Janice.
Janice, okay.
Yeah, thank you. How young people can leverage social media?
Yes.
I stand for educational content in the sense that I know how it feels to put out content that is not really entertaining or fun or all about showbiz, and you're not getting the numbers, the likes, and all of that. But regardless, stand for what you believe in. Yeah, so for me, I think Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, it's like the new Google now. As Mr. Mind was saying, you'd go on there to go and confirm everything first. TikTok, I go there and there's a new word every day. There's even a trending word now. I go on TikTok, I'm watching videos, and there's a definition for something. You go on YouTube, and YouTube is like a university. When I was in school, when I studied engineering, by the way, a lecturer comes to class, comes to teach something you don't understand. We go on YouTube to go and learn from the Indian tutors, and they even explain it better to us. You come on Instagram, and there are so many tutors who have created platforms, and they are teaching stuff. And I don't believe all of us stand for like the negative content and all of that. Some of us really want to learn. Once in a while, we take a break and go and watch all those things and laugh. But that's not what we really stand for. So for me, social media, there are so many goodies there, so many contents there. But I think we just don't know which one to go for, where they are. So I stand with Mr. Meister again. Those of us who are putting out educational content, let's be loud about it. If we are, there are going to be so much of us who are going to consume educational content.
Thank you, Janice. Is that right? Okay. Please, I'll move on to Joyce. Would you like to add anything to that, or what do you think about the question in general?
Hi. I'm loud? Okay, great. Thank you, and for the organizers, well done. For me, I would say that social media is a tool, unlike any other tool. And let's go back to Cutlass. Cutlass is a tool, right? So it depends on who is using it. So if you give, for instance, a cutlass to someone who is a carpenter, right? It will be hard for you to find out what they can use it for. Maybe they would improvise and use it to hit something. But then you realize that the carpenter would know how to use a hammer properly, right? Okay. Now, social media is like a leverage, is a tool that we can all leverage on. So it means that you don't have to be a carpenter, you don't have to be a farmer for you to be able to understand how to use it. However, you must understand the principle behind it because it is a tool. I think, and for influencers, and I've worked with a lot of influencers based on the work that I've done, because for public relations, I mean, we have graduated over using the billboards, media houses, to now what is trending, which are influencers. And you realize that a lot of people are just, they love the name influencers, so they are just influencing. So you have to ask yourself, as social media is a tool, what do I want to use it for? If I'm a farmer and I have that tool, which is social media, what can I use it for, right? If I'm a carpenter and I have a tool that is social media, what am I going to use it for? If I'm a student and I have social media as a tool, what am I going to use it for? And then if I am a pastor and have social media, what am I going to use it for? The issue is that so many of us are not something, so we can't use the tool properly. So we believe that the tool then is the answer to everything. So you go on Instagram, and instantly, as the name go by, you want to be instantly famous. But what are you selling, right? You must remember that there's a fundamental to everything, and that social media is a tool. And what are you, the person behind it, what are you using it for? If you are a camera person and you pick a camera, immediately you know that you have to use it this way, you have to shoot it this way, and there are principles behind it. You must be something, if you ask me, you must be something first and be able to use it to amplify what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joyce. Talking about social media being a tool, we all use it somehow. Some people are mainly focused on entertainment. They just want to get on there, see funny things, and laugh. Some people also use it for research. Digital literacy is something that I find very important. We all use social media. We all use these digital platforms. But what are you using it for? So the question is, what role can social media play in promoting digital literacy among youth? I mean, not all young people can even send a very accurate professional email. So, what role can social media play in promoting digital literacy among youth? Sonia, would you help us take that?
Okay, thank you. I think you said it yourself. How are we using social media, or what are we using it for? So for me personally, I think schools need to really start teaching from a very young age, the kids about social media. That is the good and the bad. So let's say a kid can learn at a very young age that maybe I want to be like what my sister said. I want to be, I'm a farmer when I grow up, and I want to use that to impact people and to encourage them to go into the agriculture sector. You understand? It helps out a lot. You understand? So social media plays a very important role. But I think education about social media and how we can use it, even as adults, is very important. So we as adults now, what we can do is learn more. What do I want to do? How can I use, whatever I want to do as an influencer to impact people? You understand? Because it's not just about the people following you, it's about you too. If you decide that, okay, I'm going to go online today, I'm going to do comedy, is this something you want to do for a long time? Do you have the ability to sustain that for a long time? How can you also impact yourself and the people following you? So that's what I would say. Thank you.
Okay. Faith, please help us with that on your thoughts.
To add to that, I would say that we need to be intentional about what we consume. As individuals, we are part, I don't want to put blame on us, but we are part of the problem. We need to choose what we consume. If you want to, if you're not intentional about what you consume, then we are the ones who will be promoting negative content. If you know an influencer bloggers are fond of posting negative stuff, why are you following that blog? Why are you not following blogs that are more educative, that will give you more, something that you can learn from? If you have an interest in something, it should show from the kind of following the kind of accounts that you follow. I think when you are very intentional about who you are following, what you are consuming, because it's important to choose what you consume. If you want to learn using social media, then it should boil down to what you're consuming and how you're consuming it. If you're spending time, and you know how those algorithms work, if you're spending more time consuming, I was telling Janice that when I go on TikTok, all I see is videos of people dancing. It's not that I'm interested in that, but somehow, that's what comes on my feed. So honestly, for me, I don't really enjoy TikTok that much because for some reason, I don't find the content that I'm looking for on that page unless I have to be deliberate about going to look for content that I'm interested in. Content that are educative, that are more, even if it's entertaining, it's educative. Right? So consume what would feed your brain or your thinking, your learnings, wherever field you find yourself. If you are in the tech space, you know that there are companies that you need to follow. Don't go following celebrities because they are not the ones who will give you that content. Follow the platforms that will give you that information that you are looking for.
Thank you very much. There's a saying that young people are the future of every country. So as young people, do we have the systems or the necessary arrangements or even the opportunities for us to chase our dreams? Are there people working to create the future for us where we feel like, okay, yeah, we are safe, and then after school I can easily go into the field I want to go into? Social media also plays a very important role. So what opportunities does social media present for youth to engage in social activism and advocacy? Yes, please.
For me, it all starts from how we are being brought up. I know for majority of us here, we are a little younger, so probably, I don't know how many are mothers, how many are parents, but I'm sure there are siblings, we have sisters, brothers, and we are people that others are looking up to. It starts from us, right? So whatever we want to do, we need to start, because somehow, I know we've talked about social media, but in our homes, we are even influencing people. From what you say, from how you say it, from how you dress, all that is influencing people. So right from that word go, be careful of what you say, be careful of what you consume, be careful of how you present yourself. And then once you choose which career path you are on, know that you are influencing somebody behind you, right? And you can start by mentoring those people. If you are interested in, I don't want to use entertainment, and I don't want to use my profession as in PR, but let's say you are interested in even education, the education sector. I know it's hard to find influencers that are in that field. So all you have to do is maybe you can approach your lecturers or your teachers so they can guide you around it. So whatever career you want to go, look for role models, look for mentors, look for people that you can aspire to. They're the ones who would help shape who you become or what you want to be, instead of just limiting yourself to the bloggers, the celebrities. It's fine. We all want to consume celebrity news, showbiz, and all that. And that's why we give them the power. Because once you follow somebody, you've already given them the power in a way to influence you. Because once they post something, you would consume that, and it would influence how you see the person or even society as a whole. So choose who you follow, and be careful of what you consume.
I don't think I really understood the question, but I'm just going to say something as to what she said. Yeah, I was a bit confused. But one thing I do personally is that no matter what I hear or I see, I don't just follow it. I always read. Even if I go to the doctor and he prescribed me a medication, I'm going to find out everything about that medication. It's very important as human beings and individuals for us to read a lot. I have 2 daughters, and I always encourage them, even if I tell you something as your mother, question it. Don't just listen and follow anything you hear or see. So that is very important. That's what I want to share.
Yeah, so you were talking about the role social media plays in order for us to be active citizens, right? Yeah, so this is a national issue, right? When an election year, so I'm going to jump onto the other side. There are people now that when you ask them why you are supporting this party, they can't give you any reason. They can't even tell you what that party has done for the country. But they are supporting because they love color blue and red. And they were born into homes that were supporting that party. What can social media do? I've always had this problem. Maybe there are, and I have not seen. I have not seen any platform, any page that is, or a portal that is showing active works of a party, of a government, of a body, of an institution. Even all our government institutions. I've been doing that research a lot. That's what I've been doing under brand rights. You will search and there is nothing. There is nothing to show. Excuse me, even the honorable minister, him or herself, they don't have an active platform to tell about their works. So what are you talking about? I hope I'm making sense. There's no platform. You're not telling us anything. You're not showing us anything. So what are you telling us about? And we have every right to argue with you. Now, we wanting to argue with you as well. What information or data do we have to argue with you? Just like we are both lost. So what role can it play? This is a national issue. All the institutions, commission on whatever department on what, they all have inbuilt, they have social media departments. They have digital marketing, blah, blah, blah. But they are just there for the fun of it. They are being paid. They wouldn't, when you even come as a private digital marketing or PR agencies, come and work with them, they will make your work difficult and then they'll kick you out. And those private ones are inside. But you're not doing anything. So I'm here. Okay, no problem. I'm an MPP fan. What has my president done? I don't have any portal to even go and check. And even if there's a portal that is posting it, is there another portal that for credibility's sake, if it was a blogger that was posting it, now the main institution themselves, do they have a portal that I can go and check for credible information? No. So it's like we are all lost and we are making noise. Very highly unnecessary noise. So this is a call for all of us. Recently I was on Instagram and then I saw a page. I can't remember the handle, but I'm sure it's not by a government institution. It's an individual who has created a page and given history about Nigeria, aging back from 18th and 17th. I stayed on the page for like the longest and I learned a lot. Tell me, do we have a page like that about Kwame Nkrumah? So what are we saying? Sometimes I say it's not our fault. We are the future, right? We are the young ones. Now you that we are supposed to learn from, what have you done? Nothing.
So how can the young people change that? It's like a trend, right? The older generation.
So for us, right?
Yeah.
We are learning from you. Now we want to create a portal. There are so many things I want to do. There are so many things you want to do. I want to create a portal. Put it out there. Talk about my country. Talk about my nation. Talk about what we are doing. Access to information. Those other people in higher authority should be open enough to give us information. It's a balanced world. It's 50-50. That's why I was so happy when we had political people on the flyer. Yeah. So that is what we can do. It's a national issue. It's not just about us.
Thank you very much. We'll hear from Joyce.
And Janice, well done on that. And I want to take it further and say that aside looking at the troubles, and I like the question as to what can we do about it. The truth is that for all the people like Edison, who brought us the light bulb, is that the thing must bother you so much that you can't do anything about it rather than just solving the part of the problem that you can. The truth is that I think for us, the youth, usually we think, oh, the future, and I know that conversation of the future is yours. The truth is that the last time I checked, I actually completed school about 16, 17 years ago. Like the last time, and I could just say, oh, I just blinked and I'm here. The future is actually now. The future is now. Like she's just giving you a very good problem, but also a solution. What can the youth do? Now she's telling you that we actually do not have a portal, right, that talks about the achievement of government. If you are interested in social media, you could pick it up. Or maybe, and this is it, I think for us, what we also have to do is to look at what we love. I always tell people, and it's something that I have worked with, and it had worked with me. Look at what is your strength. What is that thing that you love to do? So you love to talk about politics, isn't it? You love when people are talking about politics, you want to die. Okay, and then you love social media. Put it together. So maybe you love MPP, you love NDC for some reason. She's giving you a problem, right? So you love politics. So pick the information on politics, put it on social media, and that gives you that credibility. And you know why? When it comes to influencing, you won't have problems influencing because that's your authentic self. The truth is that people have issues with content creation and having worked with influencers because sometimes it's not their authentic self. I love nature. You will catch me in books. You will catch me either reading a book or being somewhere in nature on some hiking at least once a week. If you take me as a content creator, in fact, you don't have to worry because the thing is that that's my life. Do you get it? So the issue is you have social media. There is a problem. Pick it up. And when you look at all the people who had been inventors, they actually had problems. Like Girls Go Getters, for instance, I started it because I love to read and I love to do things. And I realized that sometimes I read books and I want people to engage with, like, nobody has read a book or nobody's interested. So I decided to form a club. And I said, okay, we read books. So every month we read the books. And then we would discuss them. It was a problem that was bothering me. And I realized that when I went back, like 10 years, 15 years, I will write it that, oh my God, I've just finished this book. Is there anyone who I read this book so that we can discuss? Maybe I have 2 people to comment. But now I am making people read and I'm getting the chance and I'm enjoying my life. The point is that you can do something about what bothers you. In fact, there's a reason why that thing bothers you, because you are the one to solve it. That's why it bothers you. So you can use the power of social media. You can leverage the power of your influence to bring solution to bear on the problems that we have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the next question is, what does the future hold for social media's role in youth education and empowerment, and how can we prepare for it? What does the future hold for social media's role in the youth education and empowerment, and how we can prepare for it? Anybody can actually take this one. Yeah.
No, I think like what's this person I follow a lot, Bob Proctor, and he says that the future will be as it always has been. The truth is that, yeah, like it seasonal, things will come. When we were in school, I'm not sure. No, yes, maybe you or maybe Sonia. We didn't have, we had YouTube, but it wasn't what it is today, right? And we'll have to go to the library to learn. Then something else came up. The thing you have to think about is that, I don't know, how old is WhatsApp now? WhatsApp will be what? About 10, 12, 11, 13 years old. Yeah. And even WhatsApp had changed over time, right? So the truth is that in the future, it will be the same social media, maybe, I don't know, but then a lot of things will change. But however, fundamentals don't change and values don't change. So the truth is that for you to be able to use anything that is going to come in the future, like in the last 100 years, did we have electricity, right? Was the world as developed or globalized as it is now? No. But the people knew the fundamentals. And what are the fundamentals? Hard work pays. It is a journey. You must understand how the world works. You must understand, and let me chip in here, you must understand actually how the brain works. The brain works on a lot of repetition. So whatever you are consuming, that is what your brain, that is how come so if you're always waking up and the first thing you do is to touch your phone. You have wired your brain to always wake up and touch your phone. So what must you do? You must deliberately take yourself out of your phone, and then you form a new habit. So how is the world going to be? The truth is that I know, but I don't know. It's going to be the same as about it's been, which is things will continue to change. Are you available to learn the fundamentals of what would change, such that you would use the new phase of what social media would be? Maybe in the coming 2 years, the way we see artificial intelligence now will be different. I mean, these days we use them for maybe fact checking, or you want to get some assignment done quickly. You can use Gamma to do your presentations. You know, you can do all sort of things. However, it's going to change. Maybe we would have, and someone says maybe the 666 is here, because we'll have the metallic thing, and it could be true, because if you look at where artificial intelligence is going now, in fact, your phone can tell you where you have been, what you have done, and it is to help you. If you ask me, I think that's what it is, because it can tell you that your high blood pressure is this because for the past 10 years you haven't exercised, so you should be looking at this drug, right? When we get to that stage, what are the fundamentals that you have built? What are your values? How do you learn so that you can make use of it? So if you ask me, that is how the future is going to be, just about how it is now.
But don't you believe there are positive sides, as you mentioned, like bridging geographical gaps, like for social media now? The youth, maybe your mentor is somewhere in the United States and having a workshop, and you're right here in Ghana. You can join maybe via a Zoom meeting. With that, you can ask questions.
Oh, yes. And don't get me wrong. In fact, I am someone who stands for social media. And Faith knows that, in fact, I think one of the things that had helped me in my career is social media. Because whatever I do as a PR person, I'll post it, I'll write about it. But also because fundamentally, I love to write. And I love to share my opinion. And don't get me wrong. I think social media is a great tool. Seriously. You can do so many things with it. The issue about the fact that you can speak to your mentor elsewhere, you can join courses, and I think the more we become attached and interconnected, so many of the barriers are being closed down. We don't even need to talk about it now. People are here and they are schooling in Webster University outside of this country, right? You're here, you can speak to all your family. In fact, Women in PR, we organized a summit 2 or 3 months ago. All the executive members, we never met physically. We never met. But we organized one of the best summits we've had over the years with so many sponsors. We have never met. Physically, as a group, we never met. The truth is that the social media is good. Technology is good. You can use it for so many things. But remember the conversation again. It is a tool. I am not saying that it's a bad thing. It is not at all. It's how you use them, which is why I'm saying that it's about the fundamentals. What will change about social media that will make it change? For instance, and if we bring it back as youth and then as people in Africa, the truth is that I think that maybe one of the fundamentals, if I look at it, that would change is that we'll begin to have apps that are more coming from Africa or African than they are, because now we are just consumers. The app will be developed by someone in Silicon Valley or in South Africa or in Kenya, or if outside of Africa, Indian somewhere, and then we are just using it and consuming it. But I think that we are becoming more discerning, and we will get to be exposed to so many things, and also so many of the things that are hard will be automated already by AI, that the next generation can create apps that are African based and will be consumed here, so that it is easier for us to also make so much of the money on social media than we are.
Thank you. So speaking about the good side of social media, we're running out of time, so I would move on to my last questions. I believe that in everything there are pros and cons. So what are some pros of social media and what are some cons of using social media? Please, I'll start with Sonia.
Thank you. Okay, I mean, she mentioned, most of the pros. I will share personal experience. As a psychologist, I remember when I was told that I will have to do sessions, therapy sessions online, that is talking to the person without seeing them. And you know, when you go to school to learn about therapy, they teach you the person's body language. So you have to sit in front of the person. And I had to do it and do this on the phone, which was very difficult because I'm talking to someone on the phone. I don't know if they're sitting down or standing or they're shaking or moving. So I can't really tell, which was very difficult for me. So that for me was a downside, but it also made me to use my thinking skills to really understand based on what the person was telling me. You understand? So it's the same with, like, let's say Instagram or Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. I have an account, but I don't use it. Not because it's bad. I just don't know how to tweet. I don't have that capacity of doing that. But I try to do that on Instagram and, other apps. But even with the Instagram, like what the other, I think Meister, what he said earlier, I don't just follow any account. For me, it's very important. It's like I know what I want to know and learn, so I follow accounts that I can learn those things from. So if I realize that this person's account or is giving wrong information or it's all about gossip, I'm not interested in that, I unfollow it. So these are ways that we can also, prevent some of the bad things, because social media, we are all here because we are all on social media, but believe it or not, there are people who don't do social media. They don't even know what's going on. You tell them, did you see this on Facebook? What's Facebook? And they are young. They are our age mates. It's not because they don't have access to that. They do, but they're just not interested in it. And I'm coming from someone who's a psychologist. Everyone is different. We are all here. Maybe we all want to influence people in different ways. It doesn't mean that what you like, I have to like it. You understand? But we just have to find the balance in life. In everything we do, whether on social media or not, there is a bad and a good thing. So we have to find the balance in that. Thank you.
So I'll take Faith's opinion on that. And before that, please prepare your questions. Please, you can go ahead.
For me, some of the negative things that I want to highlight, one of them is mental health. I know we've gotten to an era where people have become very addictive to the phones in such a way that even if your light is off and your phone is off, you feel restless. That's how bad it's gotten to. And then also it puts a lot of pressure on a lot of the youth. You see your friends. I mean, we've seen posts about LinkedIn being one of the places where it can put a lot of pressure on you, especially when you're done with university, you are home, you're looking for a job, and you're on LinkedIn, and some of your mates are posting about their work and how last week I was part of an event. Last month I was part of a panel session. Last 2 weeks I was here. It puts a lot of pressure on us. So we should be able to manage how we consume social media in such a way that, honestly, people put things there based on, people want to put things there. I don't know how to phrase it, but people choose what they put on social media. So don't be moved by what they put on social media. If it means switching off at some point, give yourself that sanity to do that. So following people, choose who you're following. And like I mentioned, if you follow people, you give them the power to influence you. So you shouldn't be compelled to follow everybody. Choose the accounts that you want to. I know there are times that you feel like if I'm off social media, I won't be the same. No, you'll be fine. Sometimes actually the brain needs some time to reset. And also another thing is that people like to hide behind social media and bully other people on social media. And these are things that it puts a lot of people through a lot of stress. And it may even affect you yourself, because you could have your own personal account and then sometimes they set up another account and use that to bully other people. I think it's unhealthy. So for our own careers, for our own future, it's important that let's be who we are. Let's be mindful of our comments on social media, because whoever you are commented on, I don't want to mention one guy's name, but we all know about that guy. And how sometimes you may comment on somebody, you may bully somebody one day, And then months later, years later, you are standing or sitting before that person during an interview. And you know how it would feel like. The shame on your face. So let's not hide behind social media. As much as we've talked about all the good sides to it, we also need to be careful how we use it so that it doesn't come back to bite us.
Thank you very much, Faith. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you. The forum is open for questions, so please, if there's any. Okay, gentleman in blue. Okay, please, what's your name? Williams, is your question directed to anyone particularly? Okay, go ahead.
So, like I mentioned, there are times when the light goes off. Or you wake up in the morning, the first thing, phone. You're sitting with your friends, phone. You're walking, you're on the phone. At every point in time, I think even for iPhone, you can know how long you use your phone. To be very honest, for instance, I get an average of 9 hours to 8 hours a day on my phone. But I would spare myself because of the work I do. I'm a PR person. I manage social media accounts. So, and I have a series of activities, company page, organization page, always all that. So, it's another 8 hours or 9 hours. One media money. I think I need to be down. And like Joyce mentioned, if it means reading a book, maybe take habits. Do something, take something that would keep you away from the phone. If it means gardening, going for sightseeing, hanging out with friends and having actual conversations, right? Talking to people one-on-one, or talking to your colleagues, or brainstorming about ideas, about something innovative you want to do. Those are the things you can introduce so that you can, to some extent, leave your phone. And I think it would help us along the line.
So I want to add that. So it says that you can install a new habit, or if you do it consistently for 21 days, right? So you can time yourself. However, can you do this for 21 days? And it's for your own good. So you can decide that you put your phone off. You can put it off, and I'm telling you, nobody will die. And for even me, for PR person, so I used to do this. I used to wake up, and for PR is the news. So something is on news, and your company is in the news, and I realized that it wasn't healthy because I always wake up and my heart is like. So you know what? When I'm going to sleep, I put off my phone, and I only switch on my phone when I get into the office. I've been doing this for the past 8 years. Nobody has died. All the companies I've been, by the time I go, everything is okay. So try it for 21 days. You can put it off when you're going to sleep, or you can time yourself within the day, right? And say between this time and that time, I'm going to put off my phone, or put the data off, right? You will be fine. Nobody will die. I'm telling you, nobody. Everything, the world will still go around. And if you are able to do it for 21 days, then it becomes a habit. You can do it for another 21 days. It is installed in your mind. And now, when you don't even do it, your body will say, do you know that today you haven't put off your phone? And then you put off your phone. It becomes a new habit. You get it? Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joyce.
Please, my question. I'm Nafisa.
Wait, hold on, please. Let's hear from Sonia. Then go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, I wanted to add to what he's saying. You know, you mentioned and you use a very strong word, addiction. When will you know that you are addicted to something? And it's a self-conscious decision you have to make as a person. Okay, every one of us know our limits in whatever it is we're doing too much at some point. What they gave them, I mean, their suggestions are very valid, very good, but I'm sure some people it will be very difficult for them to just turn off their phone, you know. So what I do is my phones are always on silent, and it's been like that for years. And I don't miss any calls. Even if I do, I still return them. But like she said, my daughter did this for me. I did apps organization or something on my phone. So the apps that I know that I'm always eager to go and see, like maybe Instagram, I've muted the notifications so I don't get to see it. So if I open Instagram, that means I want to be there in that moment at that time. Do you understand? So you, like I said, it's a self-conscious decision you have to make to control yourself and your addiction. Sorry, you're not addicted. I'm just saying that. Thank you.
Okay, next person.
Good afternoon. I'm Nafisa. My question goes to the third lady. What
Janice or Faith?
No, not Faith. Yeah, Janice. Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't get your name. My question goes to her, like what she was saying about getting the information. I personally have that experience about a school I want my son to attend. I have to go around the Ghana Education Service, talk to people who know someone, like 4 or 5 people. Even the school, the website I got, the website was not working, the telephone number was not working, and it was very, very stressful. So I think we should also look at that in terms of getting information, especially with the political party, what they've done and how their decision can impact our lives. Because we, the youth, seriously, we don't have anything we are relying on. 1.9 of us, we don't have multi-dimensional, either food, clothing, shelter, and everything. So I think what she said about we getting the information, it's very, very important. And the last question, what I want to say to you, is that about the books you refer to, about you reading. I'm also facing the same problem. I love reading. I read a lot. Sometimes I talk to people about books and they think I'm crazy. We're always talking about books. We are talking about entertainment. So I'll be very glad to join your club. I want to join. And the nature aspect too, I'm interested because I love to travel. Like, go nature. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to add up here. That was a suggestion, right? So I think this is a gap. If anybody is going to join me, let's do it. If you're an agency too, then you need to do it. And then also, if you're a school, you're an institution or something, and we come to you to help you to be open. There's some people, they want the solution. When you tell them how to get the solution to, I'm like, but how do we do it? Like, let's say the school, for instance, you're talking about. We can go to them. Okay, this is an observation. We bring a presentation. This is how we want to help you, and this, da, 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 da. So many excuses. At the end of the day, they will not hop on. Meanwhile, you also aren't doing the right thing. That's why I was saying that this issue is a double-faced one. Let's say something about this whole history thing. Some of us, patriotic citizens, right? We can open up all these pages and all of that, do our findings and blah, blah, blah for the love of the country or for whatever institution it is. But things like the companies and all of that, some of us write proposals because I spend my time. So let me digress a little bit into what my project Brand Right is all about. I really love it for women to be very vocal because the whole bully and all of that is too much. But you find ladies and they're like, me, I'm not a social media person. I'm not a this. But you're the same person on Instagram checking a slave queen, wanting to go and buy the same hair, shoe, bag, or dress. So what's with you? I don't want to be a social media person. Nobody is saying when you come there, come and talk, chatty chat. You go on all my social media pages. I have so many followers, but there's no content where I'm very vocal in my videos. Except for maybe I have an interview or something like this, and I go and post it out there. I don't do like those video content and all of that. But I'm flying. Why? Because everything I put out there is in text. We're not saying you have to come and put your face out there. We're not saying come and tell us the truth about your whole life. Come and tell us your whole family issues and all of that. No, it's curated content. As she was saying, find what you love. and dwell in that path. So if you are saying you are not a social media person, that company too is not willing to be helped. At the end of the day, we will come back next year and discuss the same topic. So there's a need for that mindset transformation. So whenever I'm talking, I do digital transformation. You need to reset your mind. Traditional companies are moving away. Now you go to them, billboard, the TV, it's expensive. But that money you're going to use to do adverts and billboards, you can just use a few of those dollars to do sponsored ads and co. And the reach and mileage you will get, if it converts more than that billboard or the hundreds of thousands you've paid for social TV advertisements. So please, if we are advising them to change, so I know right now we've given up. People want to jackpot, people want to leave. We don't care about the country and all of that again. But Obanibe, yeah, it's the two of us. So find the aspect or the area you love, and let's try and find a solution for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
How can we join
Janice?
the club? So before you hand over, then how can we join your book club or the reading section?
No, that's right. So for my book club, so the name is Girls Go Getters. And we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, we are on Facebook, we are on TikTok. And so all the social media, obviously, is for ladies. I'm sorry, yeah. So, Girls Go Getters. And then we have the form there. The form in itself is like a teasers. So if you're able to pass the form stage and fill it, then it means that you really want to join the club. Yeah. So we are also on YouTube. So if you want like great content, and that is why I said that if there's something that is bothering you, right? And to the lady, please, I want you, if there's one thing I want you to pick today, is that, see, the complaining is too much. And like you said, we don't have anything. Nobody has anything for you. See, I'm telling you, nobody has anything for you. If I want to tell you where I am coming from, I've been one of the people who have gone to school that I've been sacked for school fees. I've walked barefooted. In fact, at one point, I had one towel that was in fact, I came to Accra to be a house help. That's how I got into Accra. Nobody anywhere is coming to save you. Nobody has anything for you. Seriously. And I think, let's stop. Okay, let me allow that clap. Let's stop mentality that somebody is coming to hand over something to us. When they say that the future is for the youth, it starts now. It's the habits that you're building. People who knew me when I was in school would tell me, this is me. Like, maybe if anything, I've become a little bit refined. But the truth is that it's me. Meaning that whatever you're going to be in future starts now. Nobody, no politician is coming to hand anything to you. Your parents actually don't owe you anything. You owe the next generation something better. That because you lived, because you pursued your passion, because you saw those problems and you pursued them, now somebody else has an aspiration, right? And they can do what they want to do. That is how the West had been able to build what they have. You want to run away from here and go there? When they have problems, do they say they are going to Africa? No. Do you know when they come to Africa? One, when they have a lot to give. Do you know that? That's when they move. When they have frontiers that they want to move into, they want to expand, they come here. You are running from your problem to go there, right? And then who solves? They'll come and take over everything. And at the end of the day, our children will become slaves. In fact, if you ask where the future is going, that is one of them. Because they will come here and slavery may happen again in a different way, but may happen because we will all leave here, right? They will come and do so many of the things that they want to do. All our natural resources will be refined, turned into something bigger, and then our children, your children, as you are jackbuying, they will come back, and then they will come and serve them. But let's stay here. All the things that are paining you in your heart, ask yourself, what can I do with a brain that has been given to me? And that would help. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joyce. We'll take the last question.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for the opportunity for us to come here. We are very grateful. So my question is, how do you maintain stability in the media space when your passion changes? You know that there are, like as Sonia was saying, you would want to flourish in an educational space in the media. but with time you want to move into fashion. How do you maintain stability? How do you still please your audience even as you deliver back to them? Thank you.
Okay. That's the word I don't like. How to please your audience. I give you what I want to give you, not what you want me to give you. That's it. When I started on Instagram, I think some people know me. One day, a lady penned something to me in my DMs. She was like, "Hi, Janice. I don't even know whether I should call you auntie now or madam, but I followed you when you started Instagram long time ago, and you've really transitioned and Nyama Bebre." What she's trying to say, when I started on Instagram, I was just posting pictures. Because I'm the type whose mother will not allow her go anywhere. So church stees, when we go to church, I'll take pictures and I'll come and post. As time went on, purpose, found myself, realized what I loved, I started transitioning. What changed? Nothing. My audience had to adjust to it. Because you're following me because you love me, my personality, what I'm giving you. So if I am going into something else, you have to get it as well. It's different from what we're talking about. If it's negative, then you won't follow me. You understand me? So it's not about pleasing them. If you know what you're doing is right and what you're giving to them is good, continue in that pace. You know when people post and then they put that quote in the middle and all of that? When that thing started, I was doing some. And I think people didn't get it. Why is this beautiful girl, instead of her to slave for us and all of that, she's coming to post motivational quotes and blah, 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 blah. But to me, I was not posting motivational quotes. I was posting my experience. My recent post on LinkedIn. Somebody said, "Oh, some of you, when you're born with silver spoons and all of that, then you become a posting quotes." Hey, do you know where I come from? Like, do you get it? It's not that bad, but I post my experience and I tell my truth. You get it? So don't think about what people are going to say and all of that. Sit down, know yourself, identify your purpose. If it is space, it's fine. Dreams change, all of that. If you're not moving to a different space, it's okay. I studied engineering, but that's not what I love. Now I'm doing marketing. I love it. I like it. And that's where I've gotten all my recognition from. So don't think about what they are going to say. Do what you love if it is right.
You know, your first statement, I was like, oh my God, I'm not pleasing my followers. You know? I don't know if you follow my Instagram page, you see that I post everything and anything because I do a lot of things. Like she introduced me earlier, I'm a psychologist, I'm a writer and author. As we're talking now, there's a book fair happening at the National Children's Library. My book is there. Exhibiting my book. So from here, I'm going straight there. And I work in the clinic too as a psychologist. I'm also an entrepreneur. Okay? I've been running my business for about 7 years. And I also do real estate on the side. So I do a lot of things, you understand? And then I act sometimes. So anyone who follows me, today I'm posting about psychology. Tomorrow I'm posting a movie I was in. And the other day I'm posting something else about my book. Do you understand? So I don't think you should be so concerned about, okay, today I'm into education, tomorrow I'm going to fashion. Those who want to follow you will follow you. You shouldn't be too concerned about that. Do you understand? Just be true to yourself. I know what I'm about. You know, if I want to be a slave queen today, trust me, I know how to dress to be a slave queen. But rest assured that if I dress really nice and take a picture, there's going to be an inspirational quote, message under that picture. So as you're admiring my shada, there is something to inspire you under that picture. So it's like I'm multitasking at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sonia. So before we go, I took down a few notes that I believe can help all of us navigate this journey of life. First, I have prioritize educational content, as said by my panelists. I think as a person, it's important to, decide what you want to watch on social media. If you are great or keen on education, your content should be about education. It should align with your goals and principles as a person. Also, I like that very much from Joy. She said, nobody is coming to save you but yourself. if you want something in life, you don't wait and feel like, okay, you're entitled to it, so somebody should give it to you. You work hard for it. The people you're admiring, they started somewhere. So even if it's baby steps, take them. And with time, you will get there. Last on my list, social media is a tool. So you use it for whatever it is that you want to use it for. It shouldn't be that, okay, somebody is posting something funny, so I like it, so yeah, I would be there and watch. If that's not what you're looking for, it's okay to scroll. Because our algorithm works how, you use it. If you watch this, you stay on it for 2 minutes, the next video will be related to it. So we should be very conscious, because all these things we see goes into our subconscious, and in the long run, affects us as individuals. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of this session. Please give my panelists a round of applause. Yes, thank you very much for joining me. It was an honor hosting. And to my audience, you have been amazing. Thank you for that great energy. I hope we are all impacted. Until next time, it's goodbye. Thank you.
Oh mama, don't be a bad oh mama, oh dada, oh mama, don't be a bad Mama mi poto, yeah, mama mi shipo, yeah, sound domia, any baby. Better me, Kim Paluta, Mama, mi poto, yeah, man, I'm sweet in the jolly. Father dear, we see a man I was from Atia Donko, and Chebian, I want to a Donko to Enadia, Wobam Sashatawale Gringo, which in Chimisa radio, baby, a pen of the metro, a dog, a one over me, one over me, one over say, we are someone now, when the me and now was a wonder, and now baby be one, my name is. Bape, kwine wadi, so wanda madenko, ono ubibelo, so wanda madenko, Facebook, Twitter, can't on the pizza, TikTok, Snapchat, it's Legon Bantama, Facebook, Twitter, PZ Kanta, TikTok, Snapchat, it's Legon Bantama. Oh mama, oh dada, oh mama, I don't be a bad oh mama, oh dada, oh mama, I don't be a bad ouch. Baby, I do in life, no. Ya trako matia, see you shut down, send me to cry. Hey lie, and I will cast a walk on
For some strange reason, this song, I enjoy it so much. Like, I don't know. I can't relate. I cannot relate. I don't understand. Excuse me. But I'm a palutarian, okay? Just keep that in mind. I'm a palutarian. I do this for the paluta. Give it up for paluta. Listen, I'll tell you guys a story. So for some strange reason, I went to look into Kim Paluta, how long he's been here. Because there was this whole buzz about, he's been here for 20 years. And I was like, okay, 20 years doing music. Why, you don't have family members who advise you? Like, why are you here for 20 years? If you're my son, I would disown you. Like, why are you doing this for 20 years? So I went to look into him. And really and truly, he's been here for a while, like over 15. And professionally, over 15 years. So unprofessionally, when he was trying to realize the dream. So he's equal to 20 plus years. And I kept asking myself, why did he keep doing this? So I asked a few DJs who are really close to him. Andy Dusty being one of them, and he was like, "Oh, he didn't stop music. At some point, he produced, and then he learnt other things on the job. So like engineering and all those things. So when he wasn't producing, he was writing, he was singing, he was rapping, and people didn't know it was like he could bring out a song and they would give it to someone else. Like, oh, this person's music, like they'll say it's Shatawale's music, and I'm like, so how did he cope?" But for all the information I gathered about this brand, I fell in love with him. And so I'm a Palutarian. I gave them the name. They don't have it. It's originally created by Mimi, okay? I'm saying this to say that his influence in a space didn't show at the time when he probably wanted it to show. But it took time. Consistency birthed this Palooza that we are celebrating today. So DJ, because you're a very spiritual person, we'll give you one more juice in addition to the juice they already gave you, okay? But I just had to connect this to this, that we've talked about different aspects of influencing and usage of social media and what have you. But I think the bigger picture that I got from your session was that we should stay consistent with whatever it is that we are trying to communicate through our social media platforms. And that could potentially birth the idea, like we talked about, education. But who is doing anything educational on social media apart from Teacher Blessing and a few other people? But the only reason why Teacher Blessing is who she is today, and if you're doing that and I don't know you, I'm sorry. I used to work with her, so I know her because I used to work with her. The reason why she is who she is, or she's recognized for that position, is her consistency. So for any social media user, influencer here, we are all growing brands. Even if you are there, you're still learning to do more. And so consistency should be our breastplate. It should be our drive, okay? For my motivational messages, I charge 5,000 Ghana cedis. So yeah, you can pay me after, okay? I have Momo too. We're going to move on to other speakers. But have you been enjoying the entire session since you entered the place, since we started? If you've enjoyed this so far, please put your hands together for the organizers. And a big one for my lady, Isabella Aku. That was fantastic, lady. I haven't met you before, but I enjoyed every bit of it. I enjoyed the composure and steez. Like, she was just laid back, just chilling, and just, good job, girl. Good job. Put your hands together for her one more time. So we're going to take some, more education, because that's what we're here for this morning. This individual is going to be speaking on Smart Badge and Ghana Webbers. Yes, Ghana Webbers. And it's in person of Michael Boche. Please put your hands together for Michael Boche. Please clap more so the person can come fast.
Thank you. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Boche. I have an initial, NC, that is Nick Lotte. And I lead a small editorial team at Ghana Webbers, a project by the creators of GhanaWeb.com. Ghana Webbers, a user-centered information hub, is designed for young people in Ghana who share similar interests and needs. Our platform, hosted at GhanaWeb.live, has over 140,000 users, and we receive 2 million page views every month. We provide up-to-date news and information to keep the youth informed about, that is, Ghana's political space as well as social landscape. Our goal is to provide educational and informative content across all 16 regions of Ghana. We aim to bridge the gap between Ghana's physical landscape and its online representation in communications. Today marks the official launch of our portal, and we are honored to be part of this year's Influencers Conference. We see this as a beginning of a long-term relationship. We aim to provide an independent platform where influencers can share their voices freely, recognizing the crucial role in shaping communities. With this, soon, we are launching a user-generated content platform where visitors like you and I can contribute and get rewarded for popular and well-received content. This will be done by using WhatsApp tools. Users will be able to share or easily share their stories and experiences from every corner of the country. This innovative approach not only allows users to share their stories, but also offers an opportunity to earn from their content when readers resonate with it. Ghana Webbers aims to build a community that starts in Ghana and expand across Africa, giving the youth a platform to be heard. Kindly follow our portal to stay updated and join us in this exciting journey with Webbers Voice. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Please put your hands together for him one more time. So I have to do this. Organizers, if you get angry, I'm not sorry, really and truly, I'm not. So MX24 TV, my family, we're 4 years old. And so as part of our celebration, we are currently, it's ongoing. I'm here, you see. I love you guys so much, so I had to be here. But we have an ongoing event right now at the ANC Corner. I don't know when we are going to leave here, but if we're able to leave here on time, you can pass by the ANC Corner. We are embarking on a project, and that's our CSR for the year, and of course, as part of our 4-year celebration, we're giving back to the community. But this is how we want to do ours. We want to donate. So we currently found out, so before we embarked on this project, we were trying to find out what charity project we could embark on that could be very, very impactful. And we found a few very good ones, but this one stood out. So if you don't know this, apparently every 2 seconds in Ghana, so 1, 2, someone needs blood right now, like 1, 2 right now, someone needs blood in Ghana. And it turns out that we don't have enough to save lives of a lot of Ghanaians, and a lot of people die because out of accidents, and they lost a lot of blood, went to give birth, lost a lot of blood, couldn't get a replacement, so they die. Children, women, men, everybody is suffering from this. Funny enough, a lot of people haven't personally experienced it. So my mom hasn't been to the hospital, lost a lot of blood, and we couldn't find one for her to die. So I don't know this. I don't have first-hand experience, but other families have experienced this, and it's a very, very important conversation. So MX24 right now is receiving, donations of blood right now at ANC Corner. If you are a certified donor, so apparently in Ghana, so I'm finding all these out, that in Ghana right now we have people with donor cards where they participate in blood donations a lot. So if you have one, just pass through ANC Corner and donate. A pint of blood can save 3 lives at a go. So this could save someone that you love a lot's life. So please be a part of this. And as part of the celebration as well, just follow us on social media, MX24GH, on all social media platforms. We have a lot of things we're going to be doing as part of our 4-year celebrations. Please put your hands together for us. Why? We have done well. 4 years in media in Ghana is not a joke. Okay, now this person we are about to introduce, ladies and gentlemen, because they are married, I'm not going to give their name. Because they are married, I'm going to watch my words. But and I'm going to take permission from above. The above has seen me, so I'm going to take permission from above to say I absolutely fell in love with this individual because of the mind they carry, because of their personality, and of course because of the energy they carry, the push behind what they do. He goes by the name Chikona. He is a retail trading psychologist transforming mind, as well as he is a light speaker whose mastering of the forex market is second to none. He is the lead mentor at Cleos Pro. Ladies and gentlemen, with a standing ovation, let's welcome to the podium Clifford Chikona. Let's put our hands together. Let's welcome this gentleman.
I took permission.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I just want to say thank you to each and every single person here in this house. Also, I want to thank the organizers of Influencers Conference for having me. I don't know if it's okay. Can I move around? Okay. My name is Cliff Chikona, and this is my second time in this this conference. And every single time that I'm invited to this conference or any other conference, the first thing that I do is I take my time and meditate on the theme. And as I was meditating on this year's theme, it says, influencing the youth, inclusion for change. And this theme is very powerful for two reasons. Number one, the word influence, and then change. We will come to the people that are getting influence next. Now, when we talk about the word influence, and I want to talk about something very interesting, and the reason why, again, what I'm about to say is not from a place of pride. It's just that anytime I go on any stage, it's not about me. It's about the individuals I'm talking to. So I can only help you to the level that you allow me. If you look at me and the first thing you think of is what can he give, you have already blocked something in your mind. And so when I took time to meditate on this theme, and I'm a believer, not a casual one. So in order for me to come to this stage to speak to you, I need to pray about it, and I need to understand that the Holy Spirit wants to speak to you. So the word influence comes from the Latin word influere, meaning to flow into. So let's say, for example, if you pick up a glass of water and let's say the other one is dirty and the other one is clean, and I want to influence the dirty water and make it cleaner. Let's say they are both 500 ml. If I pour the clean one into the dirty one, there is something that could happen to the dirty water, but it will not become really clean. So in order for me to make the dirty water very clean, I need to have more, in other words, capacity or more, liters of water. Let's say 1.52 liters. What does that mean? It means that in order for something to influence something, the thing trying to influence the other thing has to carry power. And so to flow into simply means that I've decided to bring something into something to change, to cause an effect. So when I sat down and I said, God, what am I about to talk about today? And you see, there are different type of things that happens to somebody when you are being influenced. Number one, that will be the capacity itself. Number two is the effect. And number three is the medium of how you influence something. There are different type of influences, and that is direct influence, indirect influence, negative and positive. And so when I sat down here and as I was listening to as I told you, amazing presentation, one of the things that I just realized was that yes, social media is influencing people. Yes, this person is influencing another person. But there are different type of influences. That is one thing you need to understand. What I'm about to do with you today, right now, is called direct influence, by speaking to you directly. Then we have the one that everybody was talking about, which is role modeling influence. The people you like and admire, you watch them, they influence you. Does that make sense? And so I didn't come here to basically just speak. As I said, it's not about me. I was praying with my team and I asked them. One of them said something, said, Clifford, what will make a difference on the stage is not how you speak, it's you speak with love. That I need to desire that something must happen to your mind. And there is something that I wrote down here, and the last time, if anybody made it to the last edition of the Influencers Conference, one of the things the Holy Spirit told me to talk to people about was that who is influencing you. But as of this time around, I wasn't really getting the exact thing that I need to talk about. But then when we prayed this morning, he said, Who is the he here? The Holy Spirit. Because you need to know what is influencing me for me to be able to influence you. He says he doesn't care about what you believe before you came here. If you open your heart to hear the things he says through me, your life will remain the same again. You see, one of the things that you need to understand is we live in a world where it's all about principles and laws. It doesn't care about your sentiment. I always say this, whether you believe in the law of gravity or not, if you jump from a 50th story building, you will go down. Let's say you come to me and you tell me, Cliff, why are you always talking about gravity? I don't believe it. No problem, jump. If you jump from a 50th story building, you will go down. So you want your life to change. It doesn't change by sentiment. It doesn't change by emotions. It changes by knowledge. So when I say that I'm coming here today to talk to you about direct influence, what I'm bringing is light. So one of the titles that, you will hear them call me is a light speaker. My goal is to make sure when I speak to you, something must happen to you. And I believe in it a lot. And so today we're going to be talking about something very powerful. And before we talk about that, I want to just give a quick example before I tell you the title of today's sermon. A quick example. Let's say, for example, you come to me. No. Let's say you tell me that, hey, you are going to a grocery store. And I go like, okay, no problem. And then you go into the grocery store. But when you went into the grocery store, something happened. Somebody was in the store and that person was super negative. That is how you saw it. Somebody asked the question and said, perception is key. So the person looked very negative, very angry, looking very bad, like looking at you with some sort of emotion. So you came out of the grocery store and you were super angry as well because what the person did to you, in quotes, meaning the way he looked or she looked at you, you are angry now. But then that was the first scenario. Second scenario, before you are going into the shop, I told you, listen, there is a person in the shop. This person lost 2 kids and a husband. So there is a way that they behave now. They are mostly looking at things that they are sad, they are angry, but it's not really about you. That is how they are feeling now because of what happened to them. There is no way if you go into the shop, you'll be angry anymore. What changed? Did the scenario change? There is an information you had that when you enter the place, it didn't affect your emotions. So listen to this carefully now. You are where you are because of what you know. Whether you believe it or not, you are where you are because of what you know. If right now your life is sad, you are angry, you are emotional, you are sentiment, it is not the problem around you. External factors are always going to be a problem, but what is within you is what changes everything. So we are talking about something very powerful. And the title of my message for today is The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And I was very excited when I already heard that being spoken about already. It says the power of the subconscious mind. In other words, I am my dominating thought. Does that make sense? If you're writing something down, I am my dominating thought. And I want you to underline the word I am. I am my dominating thought. You see, I want you to imagine yourself right now like a pilot. If you're about to fly a plane, the first thing that the pilot will do is he will first of all input and adjust to the altitude, steer it to the point where the plane can switch to an autopilot. The autopilot is able to behave the way it behaves because it has already received command from the pilot. So your subconscious mind is what is below your conscious mind. So your subconscious mind basically is a slave to your conscious mind. What you have trained yourself to become is what you leave on autopilot. Now, I know that sometimes when you go on social media, there are a lot of information, there are a lot of things that will make you think that what I'm about to say, how can it change your life? And I'm going to show you something very powerful. And I'm speaking from 2 different directions. Number 1, I'm speaking from a spiritual side. And number 2, I'm speaking from a science background. So one of the first things you need to understand is before you believe every single thing I will say, you need to understand my testimony. If you would have met me years ago, probably you wouldn't like me. I'm a product of mental transformation. I used to do music and I was so interested in doing music. I really wanted to blow up so bad. But one thing that I just realized was words were going to always be my mission, but I was putting it in the wrong place. That is it. It doesn't mean that if you're doing music, it's bad. I was just using my words in the wrong area. And so I studied my medical, journey. I did my medical journey in Ukraine, and during those days, I was really broke, very broke. But that time, I was still learning skills and so on and so forth. I've been in the financial market for a decade now, since 2012. And one of the things that I'll basically just say for you to understand is that even though I was broke, my sentiment didn't change my life. Now, I grew up a little bit in Ghana, in an African home, of course, with my grandmother. I didn't get a chance to grow with my mom and dad. However, every single time that I'm not feeling well, that is when I get the fried rice and the chicken with my grandma. So when I'm fine, I don't get the fried rice and the chicken. And then I saw that as a kid, as a pattern, a way. I don't need to tell the truth to get what I want. I just need to complain and I will get it. But little did I know that even though it was a pattern, it was creating something in my mind. So every single time that is like, Junior, are you okay? I said, I'm not, because I know if I say I am, then I'm not going to get what I want. Now, growing up, it got to a point when I started doing business, I realized that I was doing the same thing with even investors. So even if I'm supposed to meet them and tell them my business idea, I tell them how bad my life is, expecting them to have sympathy on me to switch up my life. But investors don't care about your sentiment. They care about numbers. Do you have a business idea or not? So I didn't know all of this. So I went to an event just like how you guys are sitting here today. And in this event, it was a woman who was preaching. And again, I came from a background where we didn't see women preaching to be something that is supposed to be so. Why? I don't know. So I didn't open up my heart in the beginning to this woman when she was preaching, but she said something very profound. She said, every single time that I want God to do something for me, I say thank you for what I don't even have yet. So if I'm praying for a sick person, I say, God, thank you for healing this individual. I say, come on now. It doesn't work. This is, what are you talking about? And at that time, I've seen other social media posts that is confirming my bias. It doesn't work. Stupid. It's not going to work, right? But then I was so broke that I told myself I have nothing to lose. If I practice it and it doesn't work, I go back to my default life. Went back home, started practicing it. Wrote down every single thing I didn't have yet. God, thank you that I'm the best financial market trader. Thank you that I own a cafe. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. Now, my life didn't change, but guess what started happening? God started linking me to light. So what don't you know about laws and principles? What do you know about gratitude? Do you say thank you because you think it will say that you don't respect? Or you say thank you because you understand that you saying thank you is a law of multiplication? Light. So now what did I start doing? God, thank you for the fried rice and chicken. I don't have it yet. It's possible there is no rice even in the house. But that's not the point. Laws. Now, if you're a Christian, where do you find that? You will find that when Jesus saw that there were a whole lot of multitude who were hungry, and he says, what do we then do? If you follow that story, it's very interesting. He went and asked one of his disciples, what do we do? And he says, even if it's 5 denarii, whatever, what can he do? And he didn't say anything to him. And he came and said, there is a boy. Another disciple said, there is a boy. He has this and he has that. He says, have the people sit down. Order. Then he rose up the bread, he rose up the fish, and he gave thanks. Right after that, he distributed it. So when you are not reading the Bible, you know this is light. So every single time I have $1, instead of you saying, all I have is $1, you say, God, thank you. Now what started happening right there is something started happening to your life. Now, as I said in the beginning, I said that whether you believe in laws or not, and this is the problem of I've not even really started teaching, but I want to establish a structure of understanding for you to know, if you don't get this foundation, anything I will say wouldn't change you, it wouldn't help you. So the first thing you need to understand is this world does not move by your sentiments. It does not move by your emotions. It does not move by what you believe or you don't believe, or that zodiac sign person, their vibe you don't like. It's not about Aquarius. It's not about Cancer. None of that. It's about laws and principles. And you see, one of the laws of the principles is this. There is something called a law of territory. The law of territory says you cannot live in any territory that you are not made of the components. That is why in school, you cannot wear another school's uniform and go to another school. They have a law. You can't wear McDonald's and go work for KFC. It's a law, whether spiritually or physically. Same thing with the law of this territory, living as a man. You cannot live on earth without a mortal body. So your bones is like stones, scientifically. Your skin is like the sand. The 70% of water in your body is just like the earth. Now there is something that mediates what you see and what you don't see. It's called the mind. And the mediator is where we get the word media from. So now the next time you know how powerful the media is, it's only as powerful as how it influences your mind. Am I making sense? Now the moment you start understanding this, you know that, listen, if I don't protect my mind, something will happen to my destiny. Because it's not about what. How many times have you heard a song over and over again, but you didn't put it in your AirPods? You just heard it somewhere, maybe in a party in your neighborhood, and one time they start playing it and you start singing the lyrics. You didn't pick up the book to write down the lyrics. For what happened? Your subconscious mind will pick it up. So one thing that you need to understand is this, is that what we are about to talk about here today is about you understanding that you are your dominating thoughts. Now, whether you say it out loud or not, listen to this carefully now. When I say that, you should say that I am my dominating thought, it means you are creating a belief system. You are your dominating thought, whether you believe it or not. So at the end of the day, when I came back home, as I said, I started practicing gratitude. God started linking me to books. I started reading books. I read my first book called The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and I realized there is something called a financial thermostat. What that simply means is that you will always represent your mind, your income. So no matter how much I know how to trade, trading since 2012, if you have been in the financial market before, you understand what I mean. One time I prayed over my account, I'll never forget this, in 2014. I said, God of Abraham, God of Jacob, please don't let my account blow. And the account was blowing. I lost all my money in the financial market. Because it wasn't about the technical skills. It's about something you don't know. So according to the law of the financial thermostat says, you can win a lottery of $1 million. But listen to this carefully now. That if you force anything good to manifest prematurely, life will design series of events to take it from you. It's a law. So one thing that you need to understand is this. What am I trying to let you understand today? That social media has power, but it only has power on you to the level you allow it. So the first thing that you need to understand is, if you are your dominating thought, then where do you start from? The first thing that you do is you start from awareness. Nothing changes if you are not aware of what is happening. For example, what am I doing now? I'm bringing information into your mind for you to understand that you can live here a different person. I'll give you an example. Have you ever watched a movie before and you get so angry at the character that you shout at it? The movie is not real. Why are you shouting? But your mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is not. Do you understand that? So what that simply means is that I don't need to be a billionaire to walk like one. People will sometimes say you are faking it. No, it's not. It's called faith it till you make it. People sometimes say life takes time. No, life takes light. Okay, let me ask you a question. I was speaking to one of my amazing elders. He's an amazing friend of mine, and he gave a perfect example. Can I get 2 people, please? I want this place to be a little bit free because we are all learning. I'm not here for myself, as I said. Just 2 people. Okay. One more person? Thank you so much, sir. God bless you. Can we clap for them, please? You're going to love this. Thank you so much. So you can stand beside him. Thank you so much. So let's just say they all go into this direction here to the top there. This is please, what is your favorite car? Jaguar. Yours? Okay, you go for Range Rover. Okay, so let's say this is a Jaguar, this is a Range Rover, and they are all going to this side. Now, there is a speed limit and there is a camera there that says if you get to this place and you're going above 110, we are going to give you a penalty. So he's going 160, you are going 120. He gets to the place and 2 kilometers before the camera, he stops and comes to 90 and passes by. You take 120 all the way and pass the camera, and then you get a penalty. Who was speeding? She was, right? In terms of the law, she was. But was she really the one speeding? So sometimes people say, I'm going to be patient, I'm going to take my time. You're taking your time because you don't know what you know. He knew that there was a camera there. So 2 kilometers before the camera snap, he took his time and went 90, and he still got to his destination before even she did. So what am I basically trying to say right now? That your life can't change with a speed right based on what you know. Am I making sense? Thank you so much. It's an honor for you to come and help me do this. Okay. So one thing I want you guys to understand here today is that, as I said there are different types of influence. One of them is called direct influence, and that is what I'm doing here today. And what I'm giving you is information. I'm going to give you a couple of few information right now for that you will understand that when you leave here today, you will no more see those things as motivation anymore. So if somebody says that I am blessed, it's not just words. The word I am is what your subconscious mind hear as a command. Okay, we all know ChatGPT. It only responds to command. That is how your brain works. It's a command center. So if you say I am, the subconscious mind will hear you. Anything else other than that, it doesn't believe it. So you will find people, so now when you say I am broke, because people say that a lot, than I am rich. So your subconscious mind now receive that as a prompt and say, oh, he's broke, so now he's going to walk like that. He's going to talk like that. He's going to complain like that, and your life will never change. Now you don't need to believe this for it to work. This is the beautiful part. You just need to do it. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. Okay, people come to me and say, Cliff, I said smile. You say I'm not going to smile. Why? Because I'm not happy. You don't need to be happy to smile. What is a smile? A smile is you widen the corners of your lip and you show your teeth. That is a smile. And the time that you start smiling, your heart starts to feel it. Okay, when you go to the gym, something happens to your body. Your body starts to release chemicals called endorphins. What it does is that it's fighting the stress system in your body. The same way you have stress, cortisol is in your body. It is a chemical. So you start acting based on the chemical in your body. I always make this example, and I'm pretty much sure we are all a little bit older here, so I'm going to do it. Let's say you don't want to do anything with any guy, and then you go to the guy's room. Okay, you don't want to do anything with a guy. You say, I'm not going to do anything. It's not about you. It's where he touch. It's called physiology. Does that make sense? So even if you don't want to do something with him, you will still end up doing it anyways because he touched somewhere that created a chemical in your body. So same thing about I am blessed. The moment you start saying it for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, chemicals start releasing into your body. Now the same weak you that came into this room that is confused and angry about how the world and the systems are working can sit down in this atmosphere and say, I am blessed. I am successful. 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and you walk out differently. You don't need to believe me to understand this, but it is true. So every single time that you are tired of life, what needs to come out of your mouth is not how tired you are. You can say that I am strong. So you don't get what you want, you get who you are. Again, as I always say, I used to always tell my mentees, and I always tell them something very interesting. They always keep on telling me, Cliff, why is it that I can't stop myself from over trading? And I tell myself that you can't stop yourself from over trading because it is not you that loves over trading, it's the habit you have built. And as our wonderful panelist was talking about habits, this is the beautiful thing. Habit is formed in a 3-dimensional loop. Cue, trigger, reward. So you get something triggered with a cue, whatever cue it is, and then so you reward yourself. Now the reward is the most powerful thing. Anytime that you get yourself rewarded, what happens is that it starts creating something permanent. So in trading, again, if you are not a trader but you understand investment, you understand this concept very well. In trading, we call something cognitive biases. It's a psychological problem. I only talk about psychology in trading. I don't do anything technicals, whatever. You can do it, whatever you want. Psychology is the most difficult part because you can learn the skill set and nothing will still change for you in the financial market. It's about how your mind works. So we call something cognitive biases. In cognitive biases, we call something loss aversion. Loss aversion is the tendency of you not wanting to lose more than your desire to gain. So what that simply means, let's say you have put $1,000 in an investment firm, anything, and then you start losing that money. What is going to happen is you are going to want to do anything not to lose. You're not going to do anything to win the money back, but anything not to lose. By the time you will try fighting not to lose, you end up losing everything. So what do some of the retail traders do? They will say, oh, I'm going to remove my stop loss. It will never go there. You are joking. It's going to go there because you're not the market. Then they remove the stop loss. And what happens is it keeps on going down, 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 down. And then they're like, it's going to come back again. Now he's being hopeful. As I said, it's about business. It's about laws and principle, not your sentiment. Now, one thing that you need to understand is after you have become aware that something is wrong with your life, how do you know something is wrong with your life? When you are not happy with your current state. Now you tell me, Cliff, is it money? No, it's not. What is success? Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. If you tell yourself you want to become a mother and you're able to achieve that, you are successful. It's when you go on social media and you're comparing yourself, it's what it happens like that. So you want to be a father? Congratulations. You will know that at the end of the day, you have been able to achieve your goal. But if you say that I want to become a millionaire, what you are basically saying, I want to get a mindset of a millionaire. What you are saying there, now you are in trouble. Because being a millionaire is not a joke. You need to have a certain kind of mindset. So there are certain different kinds of mindset you need to possess to have a different kind of realities. How do you know this? That at the end of the day, if I want to know what you believe, I will look at what is following you. The Bible says something very profound. It says, these signs shall follow those who believe. So what do you believe? So I don't care about what anybody have called you. I don't care about what you've heard before you enter this room. The only thing that I care about is what you said you are after the word I am. And I want to give you guys anybody who is really serious that I want to change your life. I want you to write down 4 or 3 things that you believe that you are after the word I am. And I want us to do something very interesting this afternoon. Because I know that, in this atmosphere like this, is so weird that I'm not even talking about social media, because it has no power over you if your mind is right. So we're going to do something very interesting. When we are done, you will now start to understand what next you need to go to the next level. My goal today is not so that I will speak in a way for you to think, oh, this guy is speaking smart. As I said, it's not about me. It's about what can make you leave this room today and say, I came to Influencers Conference and I was influenced. So number 1, the first thing I want us to do practically is you are going to write something that follows I am. Everybody, if we all can do it, it will be very great. Unless maybe you didn't come here to get influenced. So what are you? If you are blessed, say I am blessed. If you are a king, say I am a king. If you are successful, say I am successful. And I want to show you something. While you are writing, I want to tell you why what you are doing is very powerful. When I asked you guys a question and I said, if you watch a movie, you can watch a movie 10 years ago, a movie you watched 10 years ago, you can watch it in 2024, and physical tears will come from your eyes in 2024. That is how powerful the mind is. So if I tell you right now that I want you to play a role of a successful multi-millionaire businessman, let me believe you so much to the point where at the back of my seat watching the movie, I'll go like, who is this rude millionaire? But maybe probably you are not. So the truth of the matter is, what we are going to do right now is that you are about to now envision the 5 years you. All I want you to do today is that you are going to take away the information you write about you today. I'm going to go home and do something I'll show you after that. That you can sit down and say, my name is Cliff Chikona and I did this. I have so many witnesses in my team. I did it so much that I picked up my own phone. I still have some of the recordings. If time permits me, I'll play it and show you guys. Recorded years ago. And every single time I wake up, my own voice, I am blessed. My name is Cliff Chikona, and I'm happy and grateful now that I'm a financially free individual. I have this, I have that. I kept on listening to it over and over and over and over again until I started walking like it. Now, one of the things I want you to understand is this. If your ears can listen to music, your ears can listen to your destiny. You see, one of the things that you need to understand is this. Words are older than you. He says, in the beginning was the Word. In the beginning, not the human being. The Word. So what that simply means is that before you even enter your Sunday, your word can wait for you in this direction. Let me show you. Have you seen how a president will walk into a building and there is Secret Service, whatever agent, police standing beside him? That is how you can arrange your words to wait for you in your tomorrow. Do you believe this? That you can actually say that I am blessed and I'm blessed will wait for you tomorrow. You can say I am favored and I'm favored will wait for you tomorrow. That if you are here and something is making you feel the things I'm saying, it's not Cliff Chikona. I told you something. I said, before I come to any event, I ask the Holy Spirit, what do you want to say to them? Somebody asked me an interesting question, Cliff, how are you a businessman and still serve God? What are you talking about? Who do I serve? Where should the influence come from then? So we can complain and every single thing, but the goal is that the youth can say enough is enough. So I want you to leave this auditorium today and tell yourself, I am tired of my current level, by not sentiment. What then do? I am blessed. The moment you start doing that, you know what the life will do? It will start bringing you books. Your friend will not call you out of the blue and say, have you read this book before? Now what then do? You're going to go through a 3-dimensional process. Unlearn, relearn, and learn. You only unlearn with humility. As I told you before, the woman was preaching. I said, which woman is this? Where I come from, we don't listen to women preach. But I'm pretty much sure the Holy Spirit said, be humble. It is out of this woman that you will get your blessings. And she said, anytime that you thank God for what you don't have yet, something happens to your life. I took it in and it started changing my life. Just like how you have come here today, I'm telling you there is power in the word I am. So what are you doing? You are reprogramming your subconscious mind. How do you reprogram your subconscious mind? By something called the law of repetition. The law of repetition says every single time something is in your mind over and over again, something must happen to your life. So I will walk into this room today. I'm going to paint a picture for you to motivate you and provoke you a little bit. You came in here and you are confused because you don't even know how to change your life. Probably you don't even know how to be able to make the money that you're looking for. Your rent, whatever it is, that's not the problem. But you came here today and you heard me speak and you said, Cliff, you are saying I am is a powerful word. Correct. How many things can you add to the I am of this place? And this is what you then do. Every single time you wake up in the morning, there's a very beautiful thing in the area of psychology, and I'm pretty much sure you agree. It's called cognitive diffusion. Okay, so cognitive diffusion is when you are able to distort something that looks like a reality to make it look like something that you want. So for example, if somebody crosses me on the road and maybe he made me almost get angry, I go, like, probably he's a doctor. He's probably going to save a life. Why? Why am I doing that? Right? He's probably a doctor, because if I let that emotion enter me, he's already gone. What's going to happen to me is I will take the anger into my house and start programming a life I don't want. So what you're going to do today is to understand that you can diffuse what you don't like in your mind. So my question to you is, what do you believe right now? What do you believe? I may not be able to have the time to be able to give you guys all the notes you're going to take, but if this is all that you came to hear, that you are blessed, I've done something to your mind. No matter the social media, I always tell people this. When I started my social media account, back in the days on Instagram, posting here and there, because I've been trading for a decade, there are people that I know that started trading now, and they have a lot of followers. And sometimes I go on the Instagram page and they're like, oh, you have been trading for 12 years, why didn't we hear about you? But then the Holy Spirit is like, keep on doing trading psychology only. Sometimes I enter rooms and I'm desperate to come and show the car that I entered, and the gala I went to, the Holy Spirit said, no, focus on just educational materials. And then I remember a few months ago, I was devastated because I could just quit the social media stuff and just go back to my life, and that is it. But then what then happened was, I told my team, maybe I should be done with all these social media stuff because it's actually stressful. As I'm talking to you today, God blew my mind a couple of days ago. Posted an affirmation video as I'm talking to you guys right now, and I said, I am, and I added so many things. As I'm talking to you guys today, the video is almost at 600,000 views. So at the end of the day, one of the things that you need to understand is this. When God says that you are blessed, there is nothing anybody can do about it. But he gave you a certain power, and it's called the word, because he won't be able to come and speak for you. So he said, listen, if you also say you are blessed, you are blessed. But you need to make sure you believe it to the point that you start to walk like it. So Cliff, do you have 1 million? No. But are you a millionaire? Yes. Does that make sense? So right now, if they give me a time and we're going to do something before you wrap up, please, I'm sorry. We're going to do something right now. Whatever that you wrote down after the I am, you are going to repeat to yourself in 3 minutes. I'm going to do the same, and we are all going to do it together right now. And what we are trying to do right now is I'm trying to create a belief system in your heart. And that belief system is when you leave this place and you go to your home, nothing can stop you afterwards. Now you know that if I am in this level of financial illiteracy, there is something I can do. I can get knowledge. If I don't like the way I walk into rooms and I am not impressing anyone, there is something you can do. Back then I used to speak and I used to do basically, and I said, no, you don't know how to speak. go learn how to speak. Does that make sense? Be humble and learn how to speak. So I sat down and I started learning how to speak. When I stood here now, you have not heard any because every single time you're doing basically it means your mouth is going faster than your brain. So slow down. There is no problem. If I slow down and pause for a second and look into your eyes and I talk to you and I say, how are you doing? There is no problem. Does that make sense? So we're going to do something right now. Whatever that you wrote down that you said you are, I want you to repeat it in 3 minutes. I'm going to set a timer right now here, and I hope that the organizers don't beat me up, but it's very important that somebody get influenced. So at the end of the day, in 3 minutes, this is what we're going to do right now. In the next 3 minutes, you're going to repeat after yourself. You're going to say that I am blessed. I can see there is a background song right now. Can we increase it a little bit up? Because it's not about my voice anymore. It's about what they are hearing about themselves saying it. That you are blessed. I'm going to lead you a little bit now. That if you say that I am blessed, you are doing something right now. Remember the law. Okay, if you all can get on your seats and get some energy going on, that would be great. So one of the things that you need to understand right now is this. What you're about to do right now is you are doing something I want you to go home with. That something is going to happen to your mind after you do this. You don't need to believe me. Just do it. You're going to repeat to yourself the things you've written down. And you have to be so angry that it's about your destiny. It's not about Cliff. It's not about anything. It's about you taking hold of your life. Now listen, the social media has so many annoying things. You know, the things I'm seeing, there are so negativity, but my mind can be preserved by myself. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to repeat after yourself in the next 3 minutes. As I said, I'm going to give you guys some time. Just repeat it to yourself right now. Who are you? I am. Let's go. Forget about what you are hearing from the individual. It's about yourself in 3 minutes. If you are blessed, say I am blessed. I am successful, I am successful. If you are courageous, you are courageous. If you are a successful trader, repeat it after yourself. If you are disciplined, I'm disciplined. This is not a prayer. This is called declaration. This is the power that you have gotten from God, knowing that if you speak something into the atmosphere, something might happen to your mind. And while you are saying it, I want you to add some smile to it. Smile and say I'm blessed. Smile and say I'm a queen. Smile and say I'm a king. Smile. You are successful. I believe you. And I want you to start believing that in your heart right now. That enough is enough. You have heard things that is making your mind negative. You have heard things that is making you always feel down and negative. But enough is enough. You can speak to yourself to let your mind release chemicals in your body to work like it. And I promise you this, in the next couple of few minutes when you are done, I will take 1 or 2 people to ask you a question and ask you how you feel. But I want you to smile while doing it. Say that I'm great. I am 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 great. You keep on repeating it to yourself over and over again because you are adding the word I am. Something is happening to your mind. It's called the command of the subconscious mind. I want you to repeat to yourself, I'm great. We have 1 minute. Don't be tired because your mind is trying to reject it. It's called a conditioned mind. It's a lie. But you are blessed. You are great. You are blessed. You are great. You are blessed. You are great. We have less than 1 minute to go. And this time around, I want you to start shouting it. Don't care about whoever is standing near you. I am blessed. You are blessed. We have less than 30 seconds to go. And I want you to this time around, shout it like you believe it. That if you are the businessman that you want people to know that you are, say that I am a successful businessman. That when you now go home, something must happen to your life. Enough is enough. Nobody has come to save the youth. But we need to rise to a level of knowledge. We need to rise to a certain point that we know that if we are contacting light, something must happen to our destiny. Because you are where you are because of what you know. You are where you are because of what you know. Now we have 10 seconds to go. In these 10 seconds, this auditorium must shake. Whatever 3 things we have said, I want you to pick one of them out of it. And I'm going to ask you to shout it 5 times out loud. Pick one of them. Are you ready? In 1, 2, 3, shout the first one. The second one. The third one. The fourth one. Now the last one, I want this auditorium to shake. And I want you guys to give yourself a round of applause. You see what we have done right now. I want to ask you guys, how do you feel? You are blessed. I told you that it's not about me today. Forget about Cliff. The Holy Spirit said He wants you to believe something, and no matter the belief system you came here with today, you will live the same. You will not live the same way again. And I believe it. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Cliff Chikona. Unfortunately, we can't do justice a lot to this note, but I hope that you believe that you are still blessed. Thank you.
Right, guys, what was that? What was that? The audacity this man has to come into this room with that much power. Put your hands together for him, please. Okay, so for a second I thought that we were at a different type of conference. Did you feel that too? Oh, I saw the man say, oh God, put your hands together for him. I was like, okay, is this the same influencers conference? Have you been influenced to speak more positively to yourself? Oh, let me hear you say that yes properly. What? That was intense. But listen, my first encounter with him did actually give me an idea that we're going to have an intense moment with him. And after that, we are not going to regret showing up here. So please put your hands together one more time for himself. And as a woman biased person that I am, he came with his beautiful wife. So put your hands together for her as well. Okay? Nobody sent me. Nobody sent me. But if I'm in a room, I've got to show up like that. I know we all here are social media influencers already. Okay, so one way in our own right, we are social media influencers. Please go and follow him on social media. It's Clifford Chikona. His Chikona is spelled CheQona. Clifford Chikona. He's a retail trading psychologist, transforming minds, a light speaker. Now, when you say, I remember that when he came on my show and we're supposed to have the interview, I saw the light speaker. I was like, he speaks light, like, in a light manner. Do you understand? Like, I don't understand what this is, but after speaking to him, I realized that he speaks light into every situation. In this dispensation, I believe that God is raising different individuals for different purposes. And because as you grow, there's this thing that there's a host in America. He's called Karomo. Yes, Karomo. He hosts the Karomo show. He says that keep learning. Let's keep talking and learning together. What we do now is that we keep listening. But now I want us to keep talking to each other, and that's what we did today. Let's talk to ourselves. Let's speak light into ourselves. And thank you so much, Clifford, for that. Okay. Oh. I needed to hear that because I know it was about him and we needed to. So please, Clifford Chikona on social, on Instagram. It is Clifford and the Chikona is spelled CheQona. Follow him on social media. He has quite a lot. And the original one is the one with 32 plus K. Okay, not going to follow any 300 people on social media because you're not going to get anything. Just be sure you're following the right person. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been absolutely amazing. I didn't realize that someone noticed that I am an introvert by nature. Somehow I find myself in a career that is for extroverts. I don't know how I found myself here, but somehow I'm here. Okay, so manage me like that. But she went out already, so I'm not going to pick her out. But I struggle to do this every time. It's always a new experience for me. Who gets that sometimes? Clifford, do you get that? Is it always a fresh experience for you? Like every audience is different. I feel like it's never like, oh, I have the experience, I'm coming to do this. It's never like that. I'm confessing for the very first time. I've never said this before, but it's always a fresh experience for me. Like I see, even if there are 3 people in front of me, it's like, oh my God, I've never done this before. It's always a new experience. But you guys, you have been absolutely amazing. Please put your hands together for yourselves. I'd like to acknowledge our partners for today. Some people came on board this particular event to make it a success. So I'd like to acknowledge their presence. Navik Company Limited, Krekova. Please put your hands together for them. Kiki Sports, they have their pull-up banner there. You can take the details if you're a foodie like me. They have some good stuff for you. Bash Media, Tackle Hubs, Autunes Global, New Media Association of Ghana. New Media Association of Ghana, please put your hands together for them. They are championing a cause to establish and sustain this new media era that we're in. So please put your hands together for them one more time. National Road Safety Authority of Ghana, Fast Ride, Smart Badge, Tuntum Photos is also here, Influencer Hub, and Suya Factory. Please put your hands together for them all. And for our media partners, Whitainment Podcast, yes, Whitainment Podcast, MX24 TV. Remember to go and follow us on social media. Don't do what you are trying to do. Follow us on all social media platforms. MX24 TV, Ghana Webers, Global African Times, EIB Network, Energy Radio, All Africa Media Network, Cityscope Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria's in the house. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's put our hands together for Cityscope Nigeria. Foresight TV, the senior brothers of entertainment in this world. Okay, put your hands together for Foresight TV. They have been here. Consistency has kept this company together. I don't know how they do it, but they keep doing it. Foresight TV is here, and Comms of Africa. Thank you all so much for being a part of this amazing event. And for the organizers, thank you for choosing me to moderate this event. Like I told you earlier, I was supposed to do this with my co-host on television, but unfortunately, he's under the weather, so please pardon him. Maybe next year we'll be coming together, okay? All right? But when you came, he wasn't there as well, right? Oh my God, it's been so long. I miss him. But yes, wherever you are, Jay, we miss you, and make sure to come back soon. And to you, we called on you and you showed up again and you did it beautifully. You stayed through the entire event. Thank you so much for coming. Let's see you again next year. I hope that we'll do like a part 2, like Influencers Conference Reloaded somewhere where we do it this year again. This is my suggestion, small suggestion, okay? But put your hands together for the organizers. So, as part of my many talents, I organize events, and one thing I know is that putting an event together, no matter how small, there's nothing like a small event. Like, you'd say, oh, I'm trying to do like a 30 people event, and then before you realize like everything around it looks like a 1 million people event. So it's not easy to show up 3 years consecutively. It's not a joke. Please put it up together for the organizers. Good job. Well done, Yemi Baba and the entire team. Thank you so much for doing this. We'll come back again and do this again next year. I proposed a sequel. I proposed a Reloaded. If they do it, then you see us again, okay? And to all of you speakers, Clifford, Mrs. Clifford, and to Sonia, it's really nice. I'm meeting you for the very first time today, but I've seen you on social media. You're doing amazing. I really admire you. And to the other speakers as well, we had Janice Tego over here. We had Joyce Sakite Ahiadom, and also Antoine Mensah couldn't make it. That's my boss. He couldn't make it. He's actually just got here. He was supposed to be in there. He missed it a little bit, but please pardon him. Faith Senam Oklu and Isabella, great job there. Good job. I see my future. In fact, the future in the media space is bright. I see these girls, man. They're doing it. Guys, thank you so much for coming. Let's do this again. Please put your hands together for yourselves. But before we go, we are definitely going to go with some entertainment. We have an artist who's going to give us a beautiful song for us to go home with. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? It's entertainment. Don't do that too. Please put your hands together. Let's welcome Mr. Sticks.
Gee. If you're feeling good to be here, let me hear you say yeah.
Journey of 1,000 miles.
If you're feeling good to be here, let me hear you say yeah. Drop it.
I did hurry, I park my
From
bag.
the top. Thank you.
And I never look back.
Yeah. You know, say
Journey of 1,000 miles. Begin with a step. I did hurry, I park my bags. And I never look back. Although I want to live the life, wanna fly private jets, but I'm weary of the body back. Then I took a step back. Show me the way, oh way, I find my way, my way. Show me the way, oh way, I find my way. I cry, you can't cry, you cry. You can't cry, you cry. Life for me, na cry, 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 cry. You can't cry, you cry. No guts, no glory, no Fugazi, no Josie. As many people wait know me, I do my best in all, no story. I wish myself some good loving. I found myself a pretty Jessie. I cry, show me love, show me mercy. Baba God, don't bless me. Show me the way, oh way, I find my way, my way. Show me the way, oh way, I find my way. I cry, you cry. You can't cry, you cry. You can't cry, you cry. Life for me, na cry, 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 cry. You can't cry, you cry. Oh, you can't cry, you cry. You can't cry, you cry. You can cry, you cry. Whoa, you can cry, you cry. I cry, you can cry, you cry. Yeah, you can cry, you cry. Life for me, na cry, 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 cry. Yeah, you can cry, you cry. You can cry, you cry. You can't cry, you cry. You can't cry, you cry. You cry.
They call me Mr. Sticks. Let me tell you a story. I say, story, story, oh. When Sakpa been hold me, now God he did for me, oh. Who did for you? No be God. No be God. I say, I give God the glory, oh. Everywhere I day now. Them say them know me, oh. Everything I put my hand on top, it they be for me, oh. Euro, pounds, and dollars. Them day my body, oh. Music the way we do now. Make them leave on for me, oh. A person we know. I say I dey hustle every day. Make I no be lazy, oh. When them see me balling, then they call me crazy, oh. $1 million could they told me for Semeji, oh. And I say, problem no they finish, oh. While I know they finish, oh, oh, yeah, yeah. I say, no they finish, oh, oh. Problem no they finish, oh. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Plenty money come my way. Abundant blessings come my way. This year, plenty money come my way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Make it come my way. If I hear you say, plenty money come my way. Let's go. Abundant blessings come my way. The more you sing it, the more the blessing they come. Plenty money. G. Vol.
Unim semito.
Chi. Unim semito. Yeah. Unim semito. Sticky. Otto. Every day and night me fell. Make you know the reason my fuck up. Your friends told you to lock up. Don't lock up. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. Everything that I did, and I did it for the paper. Oh, why? What is good for the goose is good for the gander. Everything that I did, and I did it for my lover. Oh, why? I don't wanna cost you, baby. This our love, no be play. Oh, you sweet like Wele, baby Jowo, dele me. Yeah. Alright. Oh no, don't go. Stick. Aye. Say me do. Ooh. Aye. Unim say me do. Unim say me do. Yeah. Unim say me do. Sticky. Odo. Every day and night me feel. Make you know the reason my fuck up. All your friends told you to lock up. Don't lock up. I know say the time they TikTok. So many times I know I'm mad. I'm mad. Oh, you said you are the one for me. You said you are the one for me. In all my life, baby, don't go funny. Baby, don't go funny. No lie. You said you are the one for me. You said you are the one for me. In all my life, baby, don't go stop me. Baby, come stay with me all night. I don't wanna cost you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Mr. Sticks. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hello guys, hi. So thank you all for coming. I hope you had fun and it was a really nice experience. I know I did have fun and I learned a lot. Thank you all for coming and see you next year, God willing. Thank you all.